I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who be caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena on. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcast it like hey ya.
You party people in the place to be. What's good? It's your number one chief rockin' Knicks universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy, and welcome to the premier Knicks in the Nighttime show. The Knicks at Night podcast coming through. Salute, 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 everybody. Salute, salute, salute. Cowboy Bob in the building. Andios was good. Was good, Andios. Coach Mal Pika is in the building. Just Knicks is in the building. Okay. King Ribby is in the building. Salute to all the members and supporters of the channel. Salute to all the members out there. Salute, salute, salute to everybody that support in one way or another, man. Salute, salute, salute to y'all. Salute. Yo. What's good, everybody? What's good? Let's get this conversation started, man. I got some things I want to talk about, but first, I'm interested in seeing what you guys want to talk about. What y'all want to talk about. Right? Throw your ideas in the chat, man. If you got something to talk about, man, you know what I'm saying? Let's go. Let's chop it up. So we're going to be here for a little bit of time, man. Rocking the spot. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. IKBM Dre is in the building. Salute. Salute. Joe is in the building. Salute, Joe. All right. Yo, Joe Long. I hope, hey, if that's your real name, that's officially the dopest real screen name ever. But if that's like just a screen name, it still might be the dopest screen name ever. Yo, I'm gonna just come through. Ladies be like, hey, what's your name? Hey, I'm Joe Long. Salute Joe Long in the spot. Salute, salute, salute. Salute everybody. You know what I'm gonna do? Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just throw the link in the chat, right? I'm gonna promise not to put a rock in anybody's shoe, at least in the first few minutes or whatever. But I do want to have a conversation about the Knicks starting five. I do want to talk to you about that. Anthony D in the place to be. Is there such thing as the opposite of a shout out? I want to do the opposite of the shout out to Anthony D. I called Anthony D earlier. Anthony D sent me straight to voicemail. You know how disrespectful that is, man. When you call somebody and it ring and it goes straight to voicemail, you're like, damn, where am I? I must be the most unimportant person. Yo. Cat send you straight to voicemail. Like, yo, they don't even Cat said you straight to voicemail. Like, man, I ain't feel like dealing with that. I ain't fooling up with that boy. Anthony D, don't you know, man? I'm the #1 Chief Rocker. You can't send me the voicemail, bro. Anthony D sent me straight to voicemail. Shout out to Anthony D and everybody else that lives in the greatest borough God ever created, Staten Island. Shout out to Staten Island. Shout out to King Ribby out there in New Rochelle. Yo, shout out to IKBM Dre out there in St. Albans. Yo, hey, shout out to Coach Malpica out there in Brentwood. Shout out to Brentwood. You gotta say it just like that, Brentwood. Yeah, man. So there are a few things for us to discuss, a few things for us to talk about. I want to talk about the Knicks starting five. Not for the whole show, just get your thoughts about the starting five. And as I thought about this on the way here, of course, you know, every time you schedule a show, like right before you hit the button, your dogs start whining because they got to go outside. Y'all already know how that go. The dogs, it don't matter what time you schedule your show for. As soon as you schedule the show, they good until you get ready to hit the button, and then they want to go outside. So what about this starting five? Is this the best starting five you've ever seen from your New York Knicks? Is it? Has there been a better starting five than the starting five we anticipate hitting the floor opening night in Boston Garden against the reigning NBA champs, Boston Celtics? Is there a better, historically and maybe non-historically, is there a better starting five in your lifetime than Brunson, Randall, OG, Bridges, Mitch? The starting five is so good that, or the team is so good that you could replace one of those guys with somebody off the bench and possibly still have the best starting five in the NBA. Possibly. Wacko is in the building. Salute. Brooklyn, keep on taking it. Salute to the planet of Brooklyn. Harlem. Salute to Harlem. Yo, you ain't never seen nobody with a crispier haircut than somebody from Harlem, New York, bro. You want the crispiest haircut of your life? Harlem, New York, bro. You got to go to Harlem. Coach says only one technically 72, 73, 5 Hall of Famers in the starting. Yeah, hey, Coach, but I'm asking you. The question is not have one ever existed. The question is, have you ever seen one? Right? Now, I got you. Oh, boy. Things about to get zesty, everybody. Hold on. Superstar backstage. Ladies and gentlemen, put your drinks down and get on your feet for, yeah. Look out your window. Knicks fans is on your block. Y'all know the Knicks run the city. Pull them shades back. Look out your window. Look down there on the block. That's Knicks fans right there. It's about that time. It's about that time of the week where you get ready for your work week with with a man that is so smooth, he does not require a chaser. Your main man, the real, still the real Anthony D. And your main man, Jersey's finest, the hood representative, Uncle Freezy. Back again
from Jackson Heights.
Jackson Heights' very own
Randy Watts.
Randy Watson. Yes. Shout out to Queens, New York. Shout out to Queens.
Shout out to Queens. Shout out everybody. Shout out to Chad. Salute to everybody. You, sir. That was my bad, Freeze. It was a long day. My bad.
Straight, hey, straight to voicemail, bro. Straight
my
to
bad,
voicemail. That man sent me straight to voicemail, right? It ain't rang like 1 or 2 times, man. It went straight to voicemail.
Like he was on the point. Look out.
Hey, Joe, I see you, Joe. Joe, can you see me? I think Joe backstage. Joe, can you see us? Joe ain't wave his hand or nothing.
Mm-hmm. But
okay.
To To Coach's point, I didn't see that, that team. I mean, those teams are our dads and our big brothers, but I think I like the. Hold on, I'm gonna hold on. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro.
No, I think this team on paper is probably the most talented that we've had, but I like that 97 team that that loss, when we lost to Miami from the fight and all of that.
They're talking about the politics.
Yeah, I thought that team was, this is like what the year and a half before Sprewell about that, and that was like the last really greatness of Ewing. I thought that team had a chance, and that was the team that stopped Chicago from going back-to-back 70. Yeah, that team beat them. That I believe was the final game of the year. They were going back-to-back 70.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hey, Joe, if you got a camera, man, the rule is when you first come up, bro, you got to be on camera first before you can come up and then put your Abby up. It's just a rule we do for the channel just to make sure that, that everybody be straight, man. No disrespect, but everybody got to go through it. So everybody go through the same process, man. Anthony D had to go through it. Everybody go through the same process.
I still go through it.
Yeah.
That's what we do around here.
Yeah, man. It's the internet, bro.
Yeah, but this is. I'll say one thing. This is the most excitement I've had for a team since then. I like the 54 win Melo team. That was exciting a little bit. We just had high hopes.
Right.
But this is something different. This is more than high hopes.
This is This is not the ant and the rubber tree plant right here, bro. This is real.
No,
this is real.
This is
ain't about high hopes, bro.
No, this is expectations.
This is expectation.
Yeah. This is you're not gonna get a lot of oh, Jolly B. No. At the moment after they have the NBA does the week where you have to have the press, you have to have media day and whatever. After that, it's on.
Right.
It really is. It really is on. I know fans are excited. You're excited. I'm excited. Everybody's excited. We want to see what this is going to look like.
Right.
I mean, less than 2 months away?
Right. Yeah. Bro, we getting it started early, bro. Charlotte, October 6th.
Yeah.
Charlotte, North Carolina. We're gonna be in right behind Worldwide West. We right there behind them, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of the opening night against Boston. Lord. Woo! How will you say it?
Yeah.
I mean, did we talk about this before? Just wanting to, for me at least, I want the team to be there watching them get their rings.
And why is that?
Because there's a certain kind of disdain that you have to really have for the champion to take the title. And no one else but us gets the first crack at them. You know, you want to see what's under the hood. You know what I mean? Like that first, you want to see if they're going to be Dallas soft or they're going to bounce back like, you know, Artest and the, you know, with the Lakers, you know, you move out Ariza, Artest. You know, you want to see
Gasol, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's like the best gift the NBA could have given us right out the gate. Right out the gate. Let's see how we match up against them.
Right. Right.
It's not the finals, no. Not anything like that. It's not, but yeah. You want to see that. You want to, you know, for as much disrespect as Boston has gotten over this summer, they're the champs.
Yeah.
They're the last team standing.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy. They might have appeared easy to them at some points because, you know, they ran out what they won, 64 games, 65 games.
They could have won 70 games this year.
They could have won 70 games.
Yeah, that team could have won 70 games, bro. Yeah, that team could have won easily. That team could have won 70 games. That team was a machine out the gate, bro.
Yeah. So for this team, this starting five, to me, it's exciting just to see what we're going to look like stacked up against them. You know, opening night.
Right.
I'm
excited for opening night for a different reason.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for opening night because the first 10 games of the season is going to test our mettle, right? It's going to test our mettle, right? Let me see. The first 10 games of the season are going to look like this, AD. Let me find it. The first 10 games of the season. Yeah, the first 10 games of the season is going to look like this, bro. It's going to be crazy, right? So the first 10 games of the season is going to look like that. That's going to be crazy. I'm going to make this a little bit. I'm going to make this larger for everybody so everybody can see it, man.
Yeah, I was about to say it. Make it a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. The first 10 games, man. Boston, Indiana, Cleveland, Miami, Detroit, Houston, Atlanta, Milwaukee, Indiana, Philly. So we got Indiana twice in the first 10 games. We got Philly in the first 10 games. Atlanta, you know they got something to prove. Miami, Cleveland, Indiana, Boston, AD, bro. If this team comes out of the gate slow, we might have to have a conversation. Drip Moore's in the building. Living the Truth is in the building. LI1 in the building.
I mean, the world would have will be on its axis again in some different type of way if we come out the gate slow. But I mean, it's 10 games. I know it's 10, not 10 tough teams, but there's a few minefields in there, whatever. But I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. Did we believe the closer the season got, the easier it would get? No, this is the journey. This is the journey. And I think we're winning game 1. I could see a game 2 loss. You know, Cleveland will take Cleveland. Miami will take Miami. Detroit will take Detroit. Houston, maybe a loss. Atlanta, I think we take in Atlanta. I look at this like 8-2, 7-3 after the first 10.
I don't think the Knicks fans don't even want that, bro. Knicks fans are expecting
10-0.
They expect to, because out the gate you have two prove it games, right? For one, you got to prove to Boston that all the talk that we've been talking is valid, right? Either because if we talk all that talk and then we go straight in there and lose to lose to Boston, we ain't nobody, right? And then the game two in the Garden against Indiana after you lost to them in a game 7, right? That is gonna be crazy. That is gonna be crazy, bro. You can't lose that game to Indiana, bro.
I mean, anything is possible, Freezy. I mean,
Nah.
we wouldn't want to. I mean, it's another one of those games. The last one that we played, then we remember the sour taste in our mouths and so forth, pause and all that good stuff. But
right,
that's a tough team, but they don't make me go, ooh. You know what I mean? They're a tough team. The Knicks have a very good roster.
right.
As we're looking at their roster, they're looking at ours and going, ooh. If healthy, just look at just from the wings. Who else has that outside of Boston in our conference? Who else has that? Nobody.
Right. Yeah, but the thing is right now we're talking about get back. See, that Indiana game is not just one game in the win column or one game in the loss column. Bro, we legit told ourselves after we lost to Indiana, right? We told ourselves after we lost to Indiana that if we were healthy, we would have beat Indiana in that playoff series.
Yes.
That's what we told ourselves. That's how we ease the pain. Because if you ask me how I would ease the pain, bro, I'm telling you, we could have beat Indiana if we were healthy. Now, when the season starts and we play Indiana at home again and they beat us again, we can't say that no more, bro. Indiana is better than us. If Indiana beats us in game 2, they better than us, bro. Period.
No, gosh, no, Freezy. We gotta relax. We gotta relax.
How? That don't make sense, bro.
Yeah,
How?
because last season doesn't, especially last season doesn't carry over. It really doesn't. We owned Indiana last year in the regular season, and that doesn't carry over. You know what I mean? Like we can't look at them and like, well, this is going to make up for game 7. It doesn't. It really doesn't. Whether we win or whether we lose. If we win, we can't say, boy, you see? This is exactly what was going to happen to you guys if we had all the horses. No, the record books won't reflect that.
Right.
You know what I mean? We have to just look at them as we're going to, from this day forward, you're going to see what you're going to be getting all year.
Okay.
That's the way how I would view it. You're going to see what you'll be getting all year. If you win, it's going to be a dogfight. If you lose, it's because that's what we imposed on you.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, I know some fans might take it in. If we lose that, see, they was better than us all this time. I don't see it like that. We didn't have Bridges.
Right.
You know what I mean? We didn't have the health needed. Miles is another year. We're another year under this thing. Randall is gonna be here. You know what I mean? It's like when we think about this, it's like, wow. Just to the point of the conversation, we haven't seen a lineup like this with this kind of firepower in a very, very long time.
I understand. But what I'm saying is circumstances, bro. Because last year, AD no, and it's not last year I'm referring to. I'm referring to last season, which is actually this year, but it's last season. We can't justify a loss to Indiana using the health excuse and then lose to them in the second game of the season when we have a healthy roster and made the roster better.
So you're putting a lot of emphasis on game 2.
No, I'm putting a lot of emphasis on the fact that if we were healthy, we beat Indiana in the playoffs. And if we come back this year healthy and with Mikal Bridges, and it's still not enough to be in Indiana, even though it's a regular season game, we can't use the health excuse no more. Because the health excuse help us cope. All summer we were like, man, if we were healthy, we'd have beat Indiana. But then the first time we face Indiana and we healthy and we have new players and we have some of the best players in the game, nah, bro, we can't, nah. Things change, man.
They change, but are they going to stay the same?
No.
You know what I mean? Like when they beat Indiana in game 2, you know, is it gonna make the pain from what happened, you know, a few months ago any less? No.
You
know what I'm saying? So it's like I said before, we can't win in either situations if we're looking at it like this is what it is, like this is what would have happened if we were, as you say, healthy and all of that. It just won't matter.
Yeah. The first 2 games of the season is what they call a litmus test.
Yeah, but they're not the champions.
No.
My litmus test against them, I don't look at Indiana. You know, if we're gonna look, let's look forward. Let's look all the way forward for a second. Do you really look at Indiana? And let's say Indiana's all the way healthy, and we're all healthy enough, and we're there. I don't look at them as, you know, they're playing with undersized guards in key situations.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when we flip and switch on them, what's the little guy that was giving us all kind of problems off their bench?
TJ McConnell.
Everywhere he looks this year. 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", in those areas where guys were.
You remember when he hit the game winner on Melo and stared Melo down?
He a tough little guy.
I'll never forget that. I had a Sunday. I was working like every day. And I mean, every day, man. I had a full-time gig and a gig on the weekends, right? And I messed around. Somehow I had one day off out of like 40 something days straight. And me and my son watched that game on a Sunday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And TJ McConnell hit that game winner in Melo's face and stared Melo down like he was pint size.
He is.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And so I was like, man, God. And they were in trust the process. Remember, they were in trust the process. They were sitting everybody, and that man hit a game winner. That man hit a game winner over Melo and stared Melo down. And Melo was trying to defend him too. But anyways, I said all of that to say this, man. To all my Knicks fans, listen. I had a hard time dealing with our playoff loss. I will admit to y'all that. I will admit, I'm gonna keep it a stack. I will admit to y'all that I had a hard time dealing with that loss in the playoffs. Right. It cut deep, right? Because it was not because if we had lost to a random on our floor, like if we had lost to who's a random, if we had lost to Charlotte in Game 7 on our floor, I'm like, that's 1 in a million. But to lose to Indiana,
I know it hurts. It hurts. It's Indiana. You know, having Reggie Miller back in the building and all. It's Indiana.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
It's Indiana.
And that's one of the points I'm getting at is not the fact that I want to sound petulant, anything like that, or immature, or even crass. I don't want to sound like that, man. I'm just saying
it's Indiana.
It's Indiana, and we have an emotional attachment to our team, bro.
It's Indiana.
We have an emotional attachment to this team, right? Like we didn't know when the team was being put together. We didn't know that this was going to be the end product, and it's probably not the end product, by the way. But we can kind of at least see a direction. They picked a direction and they're going with it. They doubling down on it, tripling down on it, quadrupling down on it, right? Everybody is here for at least the next 2 years. Under contract wise, if everybody just play out the contract, at least the next 2 years.
At the very least.
Right. And AD, you know what? I have not been hearing from Knicks fans too. I want to stay on this topic, but I want to ask you this. Why aren't Knicks fans talking about Mitchell Robinson's extension?
Because he know. If this agent even tried to call the Knicks, all you're going to hear is, boo, leave a message.
Mitch is in, I think Mitch signed his contract 2 years ago. He signed, what did Mitch sign, a 5-year deal, 4-year deal?
4.
Because if he signed a 5-year deal, he's not in that window.
No, he signed a 4-year deal.
Okay.
That may be one of the things that make me look at Mitch. One of the positive things I think he has in his corner this year is that he's going to be playing for a new deal.
So
there's always motivation in that in any sport.
Yeah,
I got to get the new bag.
So Mitch and Hartenstein signed in the same summer, right? Mitch, Hartenstein, and Brunson all signed back in the same summer.
Yes.
Yeah. So Brunson is extension eligible and got his extension. Why are we not talking about Mitch?
Because he's in a prove-it situation right now.
Chat, are there any Mitchell Robinson? Chat, please.
Of course.
Mitch fans.
Of course. Come on. The shirt. Didn't you hear Sherman threaten us last week? How's he going to face Mitch at camp the next day? AD, you're the biggest hater of Mitch this side of whatever. Sherman, a few of them in the chat gave it to us last week. Absolutely. I'm keeping record. Yes, I remember.
Where's Coach Malpica at? Where's Coach Malpica when we have these conversations, man?
I think Coach is in the chat. Yeah, there he is. Coach.
Oh, Coach is in the chat. Every time we have conversations like this when Coach is not around for some reason.
Coach is in the chat. But the Mitch Hive will appear. They'll make themselves known as we.
I used to call them Mitches, but they didn't like it. When we first started rocking, I used to call them Mitches.
Yeah, that's kind of tough.
Sons of bitches.
That's a little tough.
Yeah,
but he's got a lot. He's got to prove that he could be available, Freezy. He wasn't the only one-legged center out there playing against Philadelphia. Just wasn't. The other guy just sent him to the locker room. All right. Indefinitely. The other guy saw him standing above him and said, "Boy, get down here."
Yeah, I don't know.
And nobody did anything about it. I think maybe OG might have been like the only one who stepped up. But that was it. And that's something that we need to look at as well. Like, over these last 2 years, especially last year, I've seen Brunson take a couple of shots during the regular season that was, where are your bigs? Where are your bigs in that moment to be like, hey, this not going to happen all game.
Yeah. I'd like to see Mitch get his extension right away.
Why?
Yeah, and Chad, any of y'all with me? Would y'all like to see Mitch get his extension right away if he's eligible? If Mitch is eligible, I'd like to see Mitch get his extension right away.
Why?
Because he's a quality NBA center.
Okay, there were a few quality NBA centers around. Is he something?
You want me to? AD, should I dig up the dead bodies of dudes?
No, I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do
between
that.
Patrick Ewing and Mitchell Robinson, bro.
I don't want you to do that. My question to you, where I want to go with this, is that do you see Mitch as a part of a team that can win a championship? This team.
Well, yeah.
That's the only way. That's the only way I can justify giving him an extension.
Yeah, well, you got to give Mitch an extension, bro.
No. How many games? How many games has Mitch averaged? And I'm not even going his entire career. Let's just say the last 3 years. How many games has he averaged? 55.
I'm not sure.
But does that sound about fair? 55. Add the playoffs in. He's had a few playoff games now.
Yeah, it's like that Jay-Z song. He was doing 55 and 54. What song is that? Because he was doing 55 and a 54.
In a 54.
What Jay-Z song is that? That's a Jay-Z song, right?
I think that's 99 Problems, I think.
Oh, but Mitch ain't one. We had 99 problems, but Mitch ain't one. Yeah, but yeah, I want to give Mitch his extension, man. Just get it over with, so there'll be one less thing to talk about.
Oh gosh, is that where we at in life?
Yeah,
just to get it out of the way.
The roster is perfect.
I don't know about perfect per se.
The roster is perfect. We're talking about championships right now, bro.
Yeah, but I don't want to give him no money right now. I want to dangle the carrot in front of him. I want him to play. I want him to play. I want him to be there in the end. No, I'm not gonna give Mitch money right now. So I'm thinking about it. What are we? No, we've been doing that.
Man, the thing about so coming from the corporate sector, every time one of my bosses said dangle the carrot, what that means is we're not going to give you the carrot at all. Right. That's always like every scenario I've been in, and it's been like 4 of them where a guy like a contemporary or a direct report to me, they're like, man, dangle the carrot, let him know. Tell him that you are looking to get promoted, and then your spot is going to be empty, and we're going to need somebody to fill that spot. And then what happens is the dude dangling the carrot never gets promoted, so the guy that saw the carrot never gets promoted into his spot. Yeah, and so with that, just pay him, bro.
Are you satisfied what you've seen so far from him since the Knicks have given him the contract?
You asking me, do I like what I see from Mitch?
Yes. So far into this contract, are you satisfied?
I wish somebody made a song like that. How about that? Do you like what you see? Coach is the music, man. Coach, anybody made a song called "Do You Like What You See"? Because I'm one of those. I'm in that boat where I feel like the roster and the chemistry and everything else is at like that perfect place of don't rock the boat unnecessarily.
Don't tip it over.
Oh my! Is it song night? rock the boat, baby. Yeah. Yeah, Coach is supposed to be working on. Coach, is there a song called "Do You Like What You See"? That's Coach's. I think Coach is busy. And Nikiak says, his first 19-year-old rookie year, he was healthy, played 66 games because Coach didn't play him early season. Second year, he missed 5 of the 66 games. Yeah, that was a strike shortened season. Yeah, the COVID year, 72 seasons. Yeah. 15. Yeah. Coach says, "Yeah," by Samuel. What does that mean?
I said I didn't say the first 3. I said the last 3. That's what I said.
Okay.
As far as Mitch and games,
I say Pam. Pam, because think about think about this. DeAndre Ayton is making over $30 million.
he's not
Miles Turner is making over
he's not DeAndre Ayton.
Okay. Duly noted, understood. But Hartenstein just got $29 million.
He's not Hartenstein.
So he's half the player Hartenstein is then.
If Mitch was a free agent this year, Mitch would have not gotten $30 million per year. Let's agree to that OKC had targeted Hartenstein, from a long time ago. If they both were free agent, they would have never called Mitch. They'd have never called him. He's not what they want to do.
Okay.
It's not.
IKBM Dre is in the building. Salute.
Salute Frizzy. Salute AD. Salute to
No,
the chat.
known as the godson of Worldwide West.
We're gonna be sitting behind Worldwide West October 6th.
Everywhere they go, they leave a worldwide mess.
Everywhere they go, they leave a
And so that means that means Hov is also my uncle.
I'm telling you right now, if the party ain't the party, what it needs to be, we're holding you personally responsible.
That man said a party ain't a party.
Unless it's ran all through.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What's going on, sir? Salute.
Dre, would you pay Mitch? Is Mitch extension eligible? He's
Yeah,
done a
he's
4-year
extension
deal?
eligible right now. I think this is his last year on his deal, isn't it?
I'm
Or is
not
it next year? No, he put at 2 years.
At
First
2
year, yeah, he has one next year. So he's technically he should be extension eligible right now
right now.
because we gave Brunson his extension after his second year in his deal.
Are we comparing Brunson and the Brunsoneers?
No.
To Mitchell Robinson?
I absolutely am not. I'm merely comparing the fact they signed in the same summer. That's it.
Yep.
We're
They
no
signed in the same
we're
summer.
no longer giving out early Christmas gifts in the summer.
Unless he wants to come back for like $5 million, I don't know.
I'm about to tell Mitch. Did you see Brunson just give back 100 and something? That man is a new extension to his family. He out here giving up money. What do you think you getting, boy? What do you think you're getting?
So
26-inch rims and a Ford F-150 ain't cheap, baby.
Yeah. And shout out to the F-150 drivers. Shout out to y'all. But AD, we don't have to turn this into like a Rico Suave Bossa Nova.
You're right.
Right? We ain't gotta have sunbeams and all this stuff. All we have to do is just pay that man, bro. Pay him.
Pay him what?
Pay him.
United States American dollars?
Yeah. See, we not at a point. We're not at a point where we can be selfish, bro. We gotta start thinking about the future, bro.
Let's give him some of that new plexiglass money.
Okay. All right. I'm saying pay that man, bro.
Pay him what though?
You gotta pay Mitch at least $23 a year.
Oh dear God.
Oh my God.
Oh dear God.
You gotta give Mitch. You gotta give Mitch at least
contract the Knicks immediately.
You gotta give Mitch at least 3 years, 63, bro.
Give that man Miles Turner money.
I can't do it.
Give that man what's that center off the Cavs?
Jared Allen.
He got an extension for $30 a year.
Yeah.
But he also plays a lot more games.
He plays and he has a bigger role, bro. He's now a pivot on offense.
Yeah, he's like a little bit of a fulcrum on offense. Like they give him opportunities to do things.
Every year he adds something.
Yeah. I'm not gonna play. However great Mitch's one dimension is, you don't pay guys that are relatively one trick ponies $20 million a year, unless that one trick is historic. This is how you get in situations where Duncan Robinson is getting a deal for 5 years for $90 million.
Yeah, 19 million a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, yes, you can pay your guys, but be careful of the years and the amounts of money that you're doling out. Then when you're stuck in a position where you can't even move that contract because guys teams are not interested in tying up themselves to 4 or 5 years with a guy that may not play 40 games in a season. Unfortunately,
We didn't see that put us in a spot, man, because if you don't pay him this year, right? Say this is his prove it year. And then you go into next year with him being on a expiring contract and a prove it year. After he say he proves it this year, right? And then next year, next summer, stuff gets contentious. Like Mitch wants to get 35 mil, right? And the Knicks one. I'm just saying. Just think about. I'm thinking about the worst case scenario. So say if Mitch, or the best case scenario, well, the best Hannah Montana, best of both worlds, right? The best of both worlds is Mitch averages 14 and 12 in his all NBA defense. The Knicks win a championship, right? This summer, what are you going to pay Mitch averaging 14 and 12 and the Knicks win a championship? You're going to pay him more than the 23 million that I said pay him.
that is the most ideal of situations. That
Right,
is like,
right.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, yeah. In this scenario, yes, you pay him, right?
Right.
You can't pay everybody.
In reality, yes, you can't actually pay everybody.
Can't.
Like even if you did pay him, Freezy, he would be a means to be flipped, like almost immediately.
Right.
Because if you pay him, for argument's sake, let's say in that run in the championship or whatever, Randall is MVP. What are we talking about here?
It's for example, like the Celtics paid everybody right now. I can bet almost my bottom dollar within a year and a half, either Drew or Derek White is gone. Probably Drew.
And it may be Sam Hauser. It may be Peyton Pritchard. Somebody is gone.
That. Yeah, well, yeah.
They got two guys that's making over $300 million. Somebody at some point is gone.
And they have three dudes making 150. They have
three dudes making
150 and two dudes making 300.
Yeah. So like even if like we're doing it in the most cost efficient way, and even to that point, like you still got to get rid of guys at some point because you can't pay everyone. Because when Mikal wants his extension, and it might look like Brunson's extension, it's still $40 million. Like it ain't nothing. It ain't pushing 60 like Tatum and Brown.
But you know what? That contract was. They won a championship, so that contract absolutely is worth it. That contract already validated itself. Yeah,
it paid for itself.
Yeah, they already that contract is already validated because they have a championship to show for it in the first season of it, right? But here's the thing with Mitch though, the Knicks are gonna pay somebody that money. That money is not gonna. So the thing is, the money is not gonna not exist if Mitch doesn't get
it. But that money might exist in a player that we already have's bank account. That's like that. That money might be allocated to Mikal.
It might be allocated to Deuce McBride, who's extension eligible next year.
Yeah, it might be allocated to Julius Randle. And if we're being absolutely honest, it probably would be allocated to Julius Randle in the most likely scenario out of all of these.
Yeah, Randle, man, the Knicks are gonna go so far over the cap with Randle. They're gonna go so far over the supposed barrier. They're gonna go so far over that, bro, to pay Randle. It's gonna be ridiculous. And does Randle deserve it? Every penny. Yeah, every penny of it, right?
He wins them a championship, absolutely.
Well, you can't say that about Randle and not say that about Brunson, because if Brunson don't win a championship, was Brunson not earning his money?
Yeah, but they made their decision.
They already said
Oh,
who the face of the franchise.
They already there. They already made that clear.
right. I think
So the rules are a little different.
I think what they made abundantly clear is that they're putting together a team of the best basketball players that they can possibly afford. I think that's what they're making abundantly clear, right? Because you don't pay OG Anunoby more than you pay Jalen Brunson, and then say Jalen Brunson's more valuable, right? OG Anunoby is legit getting $50-something million more on his contract than Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, but he's only getting that because Brunson was going to take what Brunson was going to take.
Well, I'll put it this way: in reality, over the next 3 years until Brunson re-ups, OG's probably gonna he's making 36 this year, 39 the year after that, and like 42 the year after that.
Yeah.
Whereas Brunson is hovering, he's probably making close to $10 million more than Brunson over the next 3 years.
Yeah.
And then when Brunson re-ups, then that's a whole nother contract.
Wait a minute. So yeah, we're saying if like we're playing the if card then. Like if Brunson Brunson stays healthy and if Brunson is still productive, if Brunson is still playing at this level, the likelihood of him getting that big deal is 100%, and I agree. Right.
It wouldn't even like be a big deal, but like when you mention like the difference in how much money is being like doled around,
right.
It's more like he's probably getting paid $3 less million than OG over the next 3 years, and then after that we don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
That
assuming Brunson is still that dude.
Yeah.
Right.
I think this front office already decided if Brunson has 2 functioning legs, they probably just gonna give him whatever extension.
Yeah, I mean, when has this owner, since he's been here, ever been cheap to his guys?
Right now.
No, well, he's not being cheap. The management in place, they're being strategic as far as this new salary cap situation. How do they put themselves in position not just for this year but for next and the next? If Brunson then was like, yo, I don't want to do that. Let me talk to the big guy. You think in any moment Dolan would be like, don't pay him? This is a man that gave Amari Stoudemire a guaranteed contract uninsured when his people told him he's not going to live this out.
Right.
Phoenix people told him that knee is gone, bro.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. I was there for that. Can y'all believe that was almost 15 years ago?
Oh my God.
Yeah. But the thing I'm saying is this. The point that I want to reiterate is we have these conversations every few years, like, oh my God, man, such and such took a pay cut, and the next time such and such come, when payday come, they're gonna pay that man. Hey, Randall took that pay cut, bro. Look where we at right now.
Yeah, but Randall ain't the godson of Leon Rose. Now, if James Dolan decides to fire Leon Rose, then we have a different discussion.
Yeah, all bets are off then. But as for right now, the moment they hired his daddy, the writing was on the wall.
You know, it's funny. Randall's probably seen the writing on the wall, and he left CAA and came right back like the next.
He was upset. He was mad. He was mad for a little because let's keep it a buck. What can another agency do for him that CAA can't? What can they promise him that CAA can't be like, okay? That's just a matter. That's a matter of his feelings being hurt.
This sounds like a Jalen Brunson bias that we dealing with.
Hey, Jalen Brunson is Jose right now.
Yeah, okay. It's a Jalen Brunson bias in this conversation because if we're talking about everything being equally applied to everybody, then we wouldn't even have gotten this far with the Julius Randle conversation because we'd have just pointed directly at OG Anunoby.
Everything isn't equal though.
But it isn't equal.
No. I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about us. Like we can't control what they do. What they do, we just talk about it.
Oh,
I'm
like in
talking about
terms of
I'm
what we
talking about
paid
us
OG.
and how we're looking at and talking about what they're doing. Right? Like
Unfortunately, yeah. Like
oh no, go ahead,
unfortunately,
bro.
yeah. I was gonna say, unfortunately, with like the OG situation, the market dictated what he got. He didn't get his full max, but other teams offered a max to him. So we split hairs with the extra year, and the extra year that we gave him wasn't the full max, but it was a nice like 75% of it. And that's how we, I guess, cut corners or split hairs to make it work with OG. But on the open market, OG was getting offers for a max for 4 years. And we gave him the fifth year with a little bit more money.
Right.
And you are only going to be able to do that if you already had a situation in place with Brunson.
Yeah.
You are only going to be able to do that because OG showed you he took damn near everything.
And he's smart too.
Yeah, because he had him,
Right.
and they know they had him.
Right.
And but we had yeah, he knew and we had to pay him that anyway because if we played with him in front of his face, he could just be like, well, I'll just take this max from somebody else.
Yeah. And you know who
Who
else
cares about that $10 million difference? Like if we came to him offering him because his max, I believe, was 4 years, 184 or something like that.
Yeah.
If we came to him talking about 5 years, 200, he'll be like, I could get that 16 mil plus in that extra year from someone else when
Yeah.
I'm 32
Yeah.
or 31
Yeah.
when the cap is already skyrocketing. Don't play in my face like that.
Right. There's and one of the things that we're not talking about too is Mikal Bridges is going to be the same way because the narrative and hear me out,
Yeah.
hear me out. When Mikal Bridges gets to that window where it's time to negotiate, and Knicks fans remember how much the Knicks gave up to get Mikal Bridges, if Mikal Bridges even hints at making it to free agency, the Knicks fans are going to put so much pressure on the front office to pay that man what he wants because of what they gave up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing with OG Anunoby. Like the OG Anunoby being a highly coveted wing on the open market, that's cool. That's all right. That's yeah.
I mean,
We don't want to.
well, I'll say
But
the
the fact,
reports
but
say
hold
that
on,
they
but
offered
the
him.
fact that they gave up, the
Yeah.
fact that they gave up R.J. Barrett and quickly and some other stuff to get OG, and then see him leave in free agency compounds everything.
What's the other stuff? It was just RJ and quickly.
It was RJ and quickly, and who was
That's
it? I
it.
thought it was something else. Was it?
Yeah,
I
it was
thought it
just
was a
RJ.
5-player trade.
No, it was RJ and quickly for.
Oh, we gave up an early second round pick.
And
That's
we
right.
know we got Malachi. Did we get Malachi in that trade?
Yes.
Yeah,
We got
we got the third player or the
Oh
fourth
yeah.
player. So we
Yeah.
gave up two guys. That's what it is. But like him on the open market because he was a straight up unrestricted free agent.
Right.
He got on the open market and that dictated. And if I was being absolutely honest, I think guys like Daryl Morey were playing spoiler or just throwing that out there, even though he
Yeah.
probably had ideas of going after Paul George anyway.
Yeah, but he would have pivoted
Yeah.
if the Clippers had just gave George that extra year or whatever he wanted. They would
Yeah,
have pivoted.
he would have offered OG that max anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he'd had to because they were the team with the most cap space. They would have had to. They were obligated to offer that. They would have offered him that. They would have tried to work out some weird OG and Paul George thing together. Move the rest of their bodies off the roster to put Paul George and OG together, and then look at filling out the rest of the roster, right? But if you're the Knicks, you can't let Mikal Bridges even get to that window. The day that window opens for Mikal Bridges, you got to have a deal in place because the last thing you want to give New Yorkers is something to talk about.
I got a question though, Freezy, as far as like nuance, because the reports were because Brunson did something selfless. I don't want to make the assertion that Mikal would, but the reports were that Mikal would be considering taking his extension, which would be in the same Brunson range. as far as an extension number.
Right.
And the nuance part is the quote unquote Villanova Brotherhood. So does that factor in? Possibly. I think that factored in for Brunson taking his extension 100%.
That factored in all the way around.
No, I want to disagree on it, not from that perspective, right? But
Mhm.
Here's one thing about the Nova boys that I think we don't take account of. Jalen Brunson got his contract because he was a unrestricted free agent, and Dante DiVincenzo got his contract. He was an unrestricted free agent, right? Mikal Bridges has never been an unrestricted free agent, but during his career, he was one of the most highly sought after wing players in the NBA, right? And so to think that one of the most highly coveted wing players in the NBA by multiple teams, I mean, teams legit were offering the whole kit and caboodle for the opportunity to get Mikal Bridges, to think that the thought of him testing the open market has never entered his mind. I think we're being naive if we think that. And
But
it's not
okay.
that the Nova Boys thing doesn't matter. I'm not saying that, because the Nova Boys thing does matter, but the Mikal Bridges thing matters first. Because in order to be a Nova Boy, you got to be an individual first. To be part of something, you got to be an individual first. To come together, individual parts come together, right? One thing falls into individual pieces, right? So to think that Mikal Bridges never even thought about testing free agency, and not to say that he don't want to be a Knick, right? Not to say he doesn't want to be a Knick, because he talked about it when he was in on the podcast, thinking that he was getting ready to get drafted by the Knicks and blah blah blah. He said that openly. But to think about, he wouldn't want to just go eat dinner with Daryl Morey to feel appreciated, to go talk to the dude in Miami, like, or to talk to the Lakers. Come on, man.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
he
but that
had
doesn't
that
mean he's wired the
opportunity,
same.
and he had that
You can't make
opportunity
that
with
assertion
Phoenix.
that he's wired that way.
No, he not. He didn't have the opportunity with Phoenix. He was never an unrestricted free
I'm
agent.
saying,
That
but just,
no, but
just
that's my
because he
point.
didn't get it, that doesn't mean he wants it. You don't know that.
Yeah, but that's my point. He opted to take the bag instead of even getting to free agency.
Yeah, the extension. Yeah,
Yeah,
but,
he took their extension. So free agency wasn't. I'm sure was an option, but Phoenix came to him and said, "What did
AD is
Phoenix
not
give
the
him?"
same thing. AD is not the same thing. He was a first round pick that opted for his rookie max extension, is what he opted
No,
for.
he didn't get a max. He just
I'm
got an
sorry,
extension.
just his rookie extension, right?
Yeah, they gave him a nice figure, but it was nowhere near a max.
Yeah, because they signed somebody I forget. Anyway, I'm
For
thinking
Chris
Cam
Paul,
Johnson,
and
but
I
but it
mean,
wasn't.
Booker was on his max, and Chris
Yeah,
Paul was making damn near max money.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it was basically, at that time, you couldn't really have that
Was it
many
DeAndre
different.
Ayton that got a max?
That was after Mikal got paid before, I believe.
Okay, okay.
That's why he still has 2 years left.
And so the reason why I'm saying this is not just to disagree with y'all, because I think y'all make smart points, but what I'm getting at is, you can't assume that a player thinks like this on one side when it's convenient for the Knicks, but then say you don't know what he's thinking when I say something that may be just about the player, right? Because for instance, what I hear is Mikal Bridges is thinking about taking less money because Jalen Brunson did it. And then when I say, well, how do we know that Mikal Bridges is not thinking about testing free agency and getting all his money? And to say, no, he wouldn't think that, but then also say that he is thinking like Jalen Brunson, to me, that's hypocritical because nobody knows what that man is thinking.
Okay, that's fair.
No, I'd say nobody knows what that man is thinking, but the context around it is not the normal context you see around for players in the league. Like, just to be absolutely frank, like, this isn't like he doesn't know anybody within this organization. He never wanted to be here and all this type of stuff. Like, when we talk about Brunson or how he thinks, he went openly on a podcast and basically said, like, I'm comfortable with my money. I'm comfortable being here. And he basically said, like, he took the money that when it was available for him anyway. He took a max extension. It's not like he's playing for nothing. So I mean, he said it himself. So
Fritz says, I'm sorry, go
yeah,
ahead, bro.
go ahead. All right, I want to hear what Fritz says.
Fritz says Macau has 3 options. I don't think Fritz has. Fritz, what are you talking about, bro? What's 3 options?
Fritz
Dre
is like
is
Doctor. You know, Fritz is like Doctor Strange. And he has like he has the foresight, and he can see all the options available.
yeah.
But the one thing we know for certain that was that he was a part of the power play to come uptown.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
No doubt.
yeah.
No doubt.
That man told the organization, "Hey, bring me over here." And
Yeah.
he could go on and media and say, "I never requested it." All right, man.
Yeah, nobody believed that.
Nobody.
That man said trade me to the Knicks, and he was a Knick the same day. You know what I'm saying? That man said trade me to the Knicks, and like 2 minutes later, Leon Rose was on the phone with Brooklyn, and they wondering like, yo, how did that happen? How did Mikal Bridges demand a trade, and then all of a sudden Leon Rose is on the phone? How did that magically occur?
That man texted Leon Rose like, "Come get me," like an Uber, and he went and got him.
Fritz.
Salute Fritz.
Fritz is in the building. Salute to Fritz Alcindor and the greatest non-borough God ever created. Yonkers, New York is in the building. Yonkers, stand up. Fritz Alcindor is in the building. Salute to Yonkers. Fritz,
The Locks.
Fritz, the speed limit is still 23 in Yonkers.
Salute to Yonkers and Mount Vernon.
And Mount Vernon.
You gotta get through Mount Vernon and get to Yonkers anyway.
Yeah. Fritz, what's good, man?
Think he's muted right now.
What's going on? You hear me now?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yo, you got a gaming microphone? Is that what it is?
Oh no, I have a little headset right now.
You got the customer service headset, the work from home headset?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, me too. I got one in here somewhere, bro. Yeah, what's going on, man?
Not much. Yeah, I think I heard one of those podcasts today, and they've been getting the Mikal numbers wrong, but you know what I mean.
So what did they say?
So Mikal wouldn't be getting Brunson money if he signs in October.
Okay.
He gets Mikal money if he signs next summer.
Wait a minute.
Oh yeah, I wasn't making the assertion about extending right now. Probably extending next summer.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So you said, I'm trying to understand. You said he wouldn't get Brunson money if he signs in October.
He'd get Brunson money if he signs next summer.
Okay.
But if he waits until he's actually a free agent, he can make more than Brunson.
Like he can be. It's like, Freezy, you remember when Zach LaVine didn't take his extension?
Yeah.
Because it was only a certain amount of percentage that he could go up as far as an extension wise. So he went into a free agency. Same thing as Jaylen Brown.
And got the extra $60 million.
Yeah. Same thing Jaylen Brown did.
Yep.
Where people were scared, like some fans were like, "Oh, is Jaylen Brown going to leave?" No, it's something that he has to do within the bylines of the CBA so he can actually get paid his maximum amount of money.
Yeah. So if if Mikal Bridges, everybody's talking about October. If he extends in October for 2 years down the road, he'll make $29.88 million, which is way under
market value.
Under market value. That's 2 years from now.
That would be his whole prime gone, being underpaid. Whereas if he did it over the summer, his raise would be Brunson money.
Yeah,
but it would still be under market value.
Yeah, he can make it's just because he just got traded, so he can get a 20% raise. If he waits till next summer, he can get a 40% raise.
Yeah,
that's still $38 million.
That's a big difference. That's a big difference.
I mean, I don't know. I've never had $38 million, so I wouldn't know. But But
I got that in my back pocket.
Man, it looked like you got 38 minutes.
I
Yeah.
got it in my back pocket. Stop playing.
well, I have laid off white food, bro. I don't eat sugar. I don't eat bread. You know what I'm saying? Anything white, man, I leave it alone, man. Anything lighter than my teeth, man, I don't eat it, bro. No, I don't mess around. But now with the Mikal Bridges thing, though, Fritz, what I'm saying is I think Knicks fans are what do you call it?
Unrealistic.
No, well, partly, but I think we are bunkering down on the we're the Knicks, so guys will do whatever it takes to stay here with us type thing instead of understanding that the economy, the economics of basketball and professional sports are real, right? Like you can't legit, and I know what people are gonna say, right, when I say it, but you can't be Mikal Bridges in New York and make less money than Daniel Jones, bro. That's ridiculous. Right? That's ridiculous. And it's not a shot at Daniel Jones. I'm talking about the money part.
Oh, I think that was a shot at Daniel.
Nah, I don't care nothing about the Giants. I don't care nothing about what I'm saying is, bro, do you see the money Aaron Rodgers is making and he played 4 snaps for the Jets, bro?
And Aaron Rodgers took $100 million pay cut. Or a $65 million pay cut.
It was like 38, something like that, which is still the largest like 1 year ever.
He got his contract prorated. It didn't turn it. He's gonna Bobby Bonilla the Jets, bro. I think his thing. The baseball player with the Dodgers did the same thing.
Yeah.
Ohtani. I don't know if he had a deferment though. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Man, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't know.
They deferred him for 100 years. They gave him $750 million.
No, I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers
in 2040 or something like that.
I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers didn't give money back. He got his payments deferred.
I don't believe he got them deferred.
Okay, so
I haven't seen anything like that, but I could be wrong. For you.
They had to restructure him. Right? They had to restructure him.
Bro, Tony Romo was still getting paid by the Cowboys, bro.
Exactly. But if he doesn't get cut, you understand what I'm saying? So he's like, yo, I'm gonna be here for the next whatever. Like me and Woody about to be like partners at some point. We're good.
Okay. But Fritz, what I was saying about Mikal Bridges is not that I want to slam the Giants and talk football, and that's not what I really want to talk about. Or that wasn't my intent for my part of the conversation. Let me state it that way. That wasn't my intent for my part of the conversation. What I'm saying is if you're Mikal Bridges and you're the most highly sought after, or excuse me, one of the most highly sought after non-megastar wings in the NBA, right? Why would you not at least test the waters? Right? To me, it doesn't make sense. I know that puts Knicks fans in an uncomfortable situation where they fear losing Mikal Bridges after you paid all those draft picks for him. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if Dre was in a contract for the next year and a half making $100,000 and everybody was looking out for Dre and Dre know if he waits and tests the market, he can make $700,000, $800,000, right? Somewhere upwards of $800,000, but he's locked into $100,000 contract right now where he'll get a 20% raise 1 year and 40% in it. Why wouldn't he just wait and test the market?
Yeah, that's why it's never made sense to me. So I think
there's been a few extensions that didn't make sense that we got done though.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, there's some bigger plan at play that we just don't see.
Right. I think it depends on if Randall is on his team or not. If Randall is gone, then Mikal's probably going to test the market and get as much as he can get out of the Knicks and stay in the Knicks. But if Randall is still on his team getting paid, there's no logical means for Mikal to get his maximum. And I think
but there's no salary cap in the NBA, bro. Not a hard cap.
Yes, kind of, sort of. They're deterrents.
The penalties are almost.
But it's not a hard. It's not a hard cap, bro. They're not going to cut a player off your roster if you go over the cap, bro.
It'll be hard to pay
Hard to keep it together.
4 guys that make 40
Yeah.
plus million at the same time.
So Boston is doing it with 2 guys that make 300,000 and 3 guys that make 150 million.
Or
2
you
make
have to look at
300.
it from a year-to-year point. Like,
Yeah.
um,
They're not going to keep it together. They can't.
they're not going to keep it together. But this year, Derek White doesn't make anywhere near that. And Drew Holiday is at like 33, 34 right now.
Right.
And Porzingis is hovering around 30 or a little bit under 30, I believe.
Yeah.
And yes, Jaylen Brown is pushing 60. So is Tatum.
Yeah.
But that doesn't get kept together for multiple years like that.
But
I
Jake,
don't-
that's
I
not the point.
personally, I don't
That's not the
see-
point that I was making. The point that I'm
Okay.
making is they're committed right now to that money, right? Because in theory, if Jalen Brunson falls off next year, the Knicks could trade Jalen Brunson. You know what I'm saying? Just like if OG Anunoby is not the ideal fit that we think he is, and he is, but I'm saying if he's not the fit for the Knicks can just trade him. The same thing with the Celtics and Porzingis. Of all those dudes you mentioned, I don't think White is the first to go. I don't think.
I think Drew. I think Drew is the first to go.
I think my thing is I think Porzingis is the first to go, right? Because in an NBA that with the most non-essential guy is probably the first to go. Right?
Is he non-essential?
Yeah.
No, he's definitely not non-essential.
He's
No,
non-essential, bro.
He's the one that makes them break the league.
He unlocks it.
Right.
it.
Except they were 25-10 without him.
Okay, and then you can look up their net rating, and they were punishing teams even worse when he was there.
Right. But what's the difference between winning by 2 and winning by 18?
Well, the difference is when you remove one of those parts, which one of those parts is more likely to keep you at that 25-10 pace? Because going forward, Drew Holiday is not getting younger.
No, neither is Porzingis though.
Yeah, but Porzingis is 5 years younger.
But he's younger.
AD, don't you do AD? I set a trap for you, AD.
And I went right into it because he's younger.
And AD dove in that trap head first. AD, how are you telling me that you think that a stout built point guard is less durable than a 7'3" center with foot injuries?
Freezy, you know my stance on the big that gets injured.
Right. I know.
You know my stance on it. Yeah. You know and I know what you're thinking. But here's the thing: you know he's injured or injury prone. The rest of the league know he's injured and injury prone.
Right.
So what makes it easier to trade? See what I'm saying? Like what makes him? And you just gave him a contract.
Because all it takes is for one GM to be
they
like.
They gave him just a 2-year extension though. Like,
yeah, that's
doesn't
all.
have.
Yeah,
it's not too much further along, but at the same.
I mean KP.
That's
I know they gave him an extension off of his Wizards deal.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, he had 1 year left with the Wizards. 1 year left, and they gave him 2 more years, so he's got 2 more years now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but AD, you know how front offices do, bro. We traded, and Fritz, I ain't gonna bore you to death, right? But we traded our 1986 draft pick in a draft that had Len Bias in it, and our team sucked. The year Pat Ewing won Rookie of the Year, but missed half the season, right? We had a draft pick. You know what we did with that draft pick, bro? We traded that draft pick away for Ray Williams. You know who Ray Williams all time is a Knick? Did you know Ray Williams spent 2 stints as a Knick? No, you didn't, bro. Because Ray Williams is comparable as a Knick to Courtney Lee. And we traded our first round pick where we could have got maybe Len Bias, maybe, right? Maybe we could have got Len Bias.
That's the year before Freezy, because the Bias draft. The Bias draft, we draft Kenny Walker. Yeah, that's the year before. We did that. We did that nonsense.
The year before is 85, bro.
No. I mean, it's a couple of. I mean, it's a couple of years earlier. But the bias draft, we draft Kenny Walker. We got that's for certain.
Was it? No, it wasn't 87 because 87 is
no, that's 86. That's 86.
Len Bias was in the 86 draft, bro.
Yeah, I know, and that's the Kenny Walker draft. The 87 draft, the year after, we trade the pick that should have been Scottie Pippen. But anyway, go ahead.
That's the 87 draft.
Right, that's 87. But 86, we draft Kenny Sky.
So either way, Len Bias, Scottie Pippen, bro. Either way, you see what I'm getting at, right?
Yes.
Top was better than his game.
Yeah.
Oh dear God.
I appreciate AD for that too. But what ultimately what I'm getting at is a GM will pull off, bro. You don't know what's in the hearts and minds of these GMs, bro. Like somebody, like legit, there was a draft where 7 teams passed on Steph Curry. One franchise passed on Steph Curry twice.
No, but Freezy, before you even go there, stay right in that 86 draft. Look what Philly did. Philly topsy-turvy their entire team, right? And did not draft Brad Daugherty while trading Moses and getting, what was it?
They couldn't draft Daugherty because Philly had the number 2 pick.
No, Boston had number 2.
No, yeah, Boston had the number 2 pick.
Philly has 1.
No, AD, you gotta hear me out, bro. Hear me out. Philly had the number 2 pick, and they had to cut salary, so they traded a guy and that pick to Boston, and Boston ended. Remember, the Boston Celtics are the 1985 NBA champs. They did not earn the 1986 the pick in the 1986 draft, bro. They got that pick in the trade from the Philadelphia 76ers, who were cutting salary because that team had got old and they needed to move contracts. That's how they got that pick. They didn't get it because they earned it. Remember, Boston was good. Remember, Boston. No, I'm sorry. They won the championship in '86. They beat the Houston Rockets, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in '86 they beat the Houston Rockets. So they couldn't have earned the number 2 pick.
No, they didn't earn it. They traded for it, as you say, but in that 86, at 86, Philly has 1. Philly trades in a multiple team deal. They trade Moses to Atlanta, Daugherty for this, that. They just made a whole topsy-turvy of their situation and ended up the worse for it.
Yeah. But that's Philly. Yeah. And so in that 86 draft, Daugherty goes number 1 to Cleveland.
Yes.
And Len Bias goes number 2 to
I didn't think
Boston.
Yeah.
Washburn goes 3, I think. 4 is Chuck Persons.
Chuck Person to Indiana.
And 5 is
Obi Toppin to the Knicks. Number 5 is Obi Toppin to the Knicks.
Oh, that was a minefield draft, I tell you. Oh, dear God.
Yeah, but yeah. So ultimately, first, what I'm saying is these GMs, bro. Historically, bro, we've been watching these GMs. I'm gonna say since the TBS era. Yeah, I remember when TBS and TNT first started showing Atlanta Hawks and all that, and the TNT thing first. We've been watching GMs in earnest. We started learning their names and all of that stuff, and we learned the term front office and all of that stuff in the mid 80s, right? So we've been watching since about the mid 80s, right, bro? Ever since the mid 80s, bro, you've seen front offices do dumb stuff as long as we've been watching. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like Miami drafting. What was his name?
Harold Miner.
Ronnie Cycling.
No. Who's the guy from Duke? And everybody just knew he wasn't.
Christian Lanier?
No, he's not talking about that. He's talking about from Duke, who ends up. He becomes a good player, but he's not. He wasn't.
You talking about Danny Ferry?
No, not Ferry. He was with Memphis, and then Miami signed him. Oh God, what's his name? Very good defender. You know what I'm.
Shane Battier.
Yes, Battier.
Yeah, Shane Battier.
And it's like you knew out of college Shane Battier wasn't it.
He wasn't going to be that. right? He was kind of like when the Nets drafted Ed O'Bannon.
Oh,
I remember that press conference, yo. I was watching it for them, and I'm like, because low key, I used to feel really bad for the Nets, right? And I was like, come on, guys. He can't shoot.
bro, we be up by 40 on the Nets.
Oh!
We be about 40 on the Nets, and I'd be like, keep the starters in.
Yo, you talk about bad drafts. They just kept compounding this shit.
Yeah,
Hobson.
That's what some teams. Yeah. Oh,
Hobson from Ohio State. I remember Ohio State. He was like 29 a game.
Yeah.
But he was thinner than KD.
Yeah. And they Marks the GM of that team said one time that the reason why the Nets were bad is because their arena situation would be. He was like, yo, their players, NBA players, millionaires, were taking showers with truck drivers that were coming through dropping off loads.
they had 7 equal partner owners,
bro, and this is when they had Richard Jefferson and Jason Kidd.
Yeah. They had the. It's not until they consolidated, and I can't remember how their deal goes down, but then they hire Rod Thorne. They get Thorne, and Thorne kind of Gene Michael the situation.
Yeah.
Because immediately he trades Starberry. Yeah. Or not immediately, but
systemically. He just one move at a time.
Starberry broke Jason Williams' leg. And I was like, yo, that cloud, like, dude's going for a rebound. Jason Williams at that time, and people remember Jason Williams, in the tragic story and whatever, but before that, Jason Williams was a borderline beast power forward all-star with Jersey.
That's when
I think he was on his way to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I think he was on his way.
Yeah. And he used to talk trash about the Knicks too, by the way.
That's because they didn't draft him.
But so the thing with Mikal Bridges, though, the thing about Mikal Bridges is if you're Mikal Bridges and you know the money is out there, you don't care where the money comes from, right? You don't care if Philly or New York or Brooklyn or whoever offers the money, because if the Knicks are anywhere close in the offer, you signing back with the Knicks anyway, right? Your intent is not to leave the Knicks. Your intent is to go and see what your value is on the open market, and then hope the Knicks are creatures of their word. They value you, so you go test, and then they pay you something. Say the number is $300 million. You just hope the Knicks offer you $275. If the Knicks offer $275, you like, done. We ain't got to go no further, right? But the thing is, as Knicks fans, I think what we hope is that since we are the Knicks, people will fall in love with us and take less money.
No. I think what we think as Knicks fans is that we're now the place to be, and there's worse places around. So it's a new day. And not just because we're New York and we're the Knicks necessarily, whatever, but we got good something happening here. Very good something happening over here.
Like what?
This team, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, 2-time All-NBA. Like, we have a very good team. I'm sorry. That's what it is. And we're not long gone are the days where free agents wouldn't even stop here. Call us. Have we forgotten that? Have we forgotten the disrespect that we got with KD and Kyrie and all of that fateful July a couple years ago?
Don't forget the Kemba Walker too. Don't forget
Kemba Walker was in there. All of these guys that was like, oh, if he's coming, maybe I'll come. It was that kind of situation.
Oh no, they would use our name the year before they became a free agent.
Yep.
Everybody. Knicks look nice. Knicks, they're working on something. That summer, crickets.
Yep. Yeah, you remember? Hey, yo, Kemba Walker was in the ball. I'll never forget this as long as I live. And my people are from the Bronx, bro. My people are from the Bronx, right? So when you see Kemba Walker in front of that nasty green Dunkin' Donut sign, you remember Dunkin' Donuts what they sponsor one time?
Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting up there talking about like, and when the reporter asked like, "How close were you to signing with the Knicks?" He's like, "Nah, I wasn't close." But if they had drafted Zion and signed Jimmy Butler, Kyrie, Kevin Durant, I would have considered it. Kimba, wait a minute. Are you telling us that if we would have spent all our free agent money on those three dudes and drafted Zion, you would have considered becoming a Knick? You would have thought about it.
Yes.
But then after your knees go out, you want the keys to the city.
And they gave it to him.
And they gave it to him like fools, bro. Bro, two players
like,
I'm sorry.
It sounded like when your high school crush grows up and then she's like fat.
Yeah, and you see at the
now
store.
she want to holler at you. I'm like, okay.
You see at the store with the yoga pants on.
Sloppy.
Class of '88. Now we didn't go to the same high school. You went to school with my big sister. I don't know.
I don't know who you is.
I don't know what you talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible. That's so horrible. That was terrible. Shout out to my big ladies.
Yeah,
we still love and need you. We ain't gonna follow Ike BM with his young nonsense.
Yeah, Dre trying to. Yeah, this is all Dre's fault.
You got a warm plate of food right now. Stop playing.
All I got is a first class ticket to San Antonio for them.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so the thing is with Mikal Bridges, man, is listen, I've been a Knicks fan for long enough to understand, like, to compartmentalize where we are in certain stitches of time. Like right now, we're in a very good place, right? Like right now, I feel like the Knicks are in a place where they can win the NBA championship. But the defending NBA champ is in our division. And the defending NBA champ has dominated this team for years. To get over the hump, to even get a chance at lifting the Larry O'Brien trophy, we have to prove to the world that the team that has been historically better than us for the last 40 years, 50, 60 years, right? The team that's been historically better than us, we have to prove that we're better than them for a change. And I am not in one of those boats that is just ready to assume that just because we added a piece that we're better. We got to prove it on the court, and that start the first night of the season when Boston gets their rings and we're there to watch.
Yes. Soak it in and watch them glib and be glee and try on their rings and all that stuff. I want it all. I want to watch it from beginning to end.
Right.
Soak it all up.
Yep.
Right.
Because you gotta make it a long. You gotta make it a long evening.
But you gotta seethe in that. If you seeing them getting them rings and pulling the banners down and the fans getting rowdy and excited, you gotta turn around and basically wipe that smile off their face. It kind of reminds me of, you remember when I think KD first went to the Warriors and the Spurs came into town?
Yep.
And just destroyed them that first thing.
Yep. Yep.
Granted, they came back. The Warriors did what the Warriors did, but they basically put out a statement like they weren't going nowhere, and they not scared or intimidated by your team.
Yeah, you remember that game where Steph and KD were passing the ball back and forth? Like, no, you the man. No, you be the man. No, you be the man. Remember that?
Yeah.
And we were like, yo, what are y'all doing? Just both of y'all are great. Just somebody take over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't talk about that enough with their dynamic and how Steph kind of just took a back seat and let him come in and be more comfortable.
Not too many superstars do that or are comfortable doing that. That's not at the peak of their powers.
at that age, bro, to say, nah, bro, you can come in here off the street and be the franchise player.
Yeah, Steph was what, 27? 20,
Yeah, man.
Yeah. But he did it because they needed him.
yeah, they needed him.
I mean, they were a 73 win team and so forth, but going forward, they saw what that loss was like. And I can't blame them for going out and be like, you know what, bump this. We don't want to feel like this anymore.
Nah, it's like overkill. We're not doing this.
But I would have done it too. I'm a Yankee fan. I know what it's like to pile it on and give it to them and be hated. I want that feeling. I want your dinners to be cold and harsh.
I could only imagine how you felt when like that A-Rod deal didn't go through for Boston and then the Yankees swooped in.
Because at first it seemed like he was then going to get paired up to go to the Mets, but the Mets are the Mets, and
we didn't want Alfonso. Sorry, we don't want Soriano.
Whatever. And once it became available, George Steinbrenner was like, "Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let me show you how to swoop in."
George put out the word.
Let me show you how to swoop in. This is what Big Bank do. Big Bank comes in and
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. Everyone in the league was so upset and how could he? And that, I get that from all but you can't blame Golden State. You can't blame Golden State for wanting to be better and give their fans a better product and a dynasty that they can hold. You know what Golden State was for 40 years?
They went, they went from being worth $400 million to like $8 billion in like 10 years.
Yep. An incredible number. That's an incredible jump, bro.
Like, how does a franchise? I think they got bought for like 600, 700, 800 million, somewhere in like that.
Yeah, Joe Lacob Group. Yeah,
a team in the middle of the Bay was worth that much, and they flipped it tenfold, literally tenfold.
And you know what else too? They traded their most beloved player.
Yes,
and the owner got booed.
Yes,
on opening night, and they legit. That man cried in front of 18,000 people.
Rick Barry had to run out there and grab the mic.
Yep, you remember that? Yo,
if you chastising people.
Yeah,
I remember that.
If you ever see your owner break down and cry overwhelmed with emotion because he tried something and it didn't work, bro, you already know he committed to building. He committed to whatever it takes to build the champion, bro. And not just on the floor. He committed to bringing in Jerry West to be a consultant, bro. He gonna bring in guys. He gonna bring in all the high paid assistants, bro. Soon as somebody get fired, he's Steve Kerr assistant. You know what I'm saying? And
they loved Monty Ellis out there.
Yeah, man.
They I don't know what it was. I remember Isaiah was toying with drafting him at one point. The Knicks brought him in for a couple of workouts. I don't know what happened there. But for some reason, out there in the Bay Area, they took to him seriously.
But is that not their model? Is that not their mold, bro? Even when you look at Jordan Poole, right? Jordan Poole didn't work out, right? But neither did Jordan Poole kind of worked out, but neither did Vonteego Cummings. You remember Vonteego Cummings, a 6'2", 6'3" combo-ish type guard? You remember Gilbert Arenas in Golden State?
I don't remember them being so distraught when they lost Gilbert.
Yeah.
Gilbert played his way out of that team. Like he played so well that the Wizards just like, yo, take this Brinks truck real quick.
Yeah. He outplayed Vonteego Cummings, the guard out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Vonteego
like Cummings was supposed to be Arenas first.
Actually play. Took him about half a year to actually get on the court.
Yeah. I don't remember them this distraught when they broke up that team that beat Dallas.
Oh, you talking about all those journeymen, Steven Jackson, Corey Maggette, all of them?
Yeah.
Baron Davis.
With Pete Byron, I don't remember them being upset at that.
That was the We Believe Warriors.
The We Believe Warriors, but for some reason, Monty Ellis is beloved over there. I'm like, you know, y'all wasn't winning anything with Monty, right?
But hey, you looked up his numbers. It was like 25, 5, and 5 shooting.
Yeah.
Like,
And once a week he would dunk on somebody, bro.
He was kind of like Westbrook before Westbrook, keeping the buck, just a lot less.
That dude could, that dude could shoot though, bro. That dude could.
They loved him out there.
Him and Clay. You remember him and Clay together? Was it him and Clay? Who's it? Him and him and Clay. Was hurt. Him and Clay. Because yeah. You remember him, Clay, and the small forward? I forget the small forward name. I think they traded him to Dallas or something to make room for
Anton
KD.
Jameson,
Harrison Barnes.
And they didn't trade him. Well, they didn't trade him. They just let him go on free agency.
Yeah, they let him.
They let him go. Okay.
And the Mavericks paid him like 5 years, $90 million, something like that.
Yeah, they need the money for KD.
Yeah, man. But
they were glad to see that man go, because the whole reason KD was a Warrior in the first place is because that man was missing wide open threes the entire finals.
That dude was that dude confidence was so gone.
If he made 30% of his shots, they win that finals.
Man.
If the league doesn't suspend Draymond Green, they win that finals. Let's keep it up.
Yeah, and the way they officiated them games too, man. Let's
just keep it all the way above.
Golden State should have 4 straight championships, bro.
For some reason, that Game 7 always comes up in my YouTube feed, and I'm just drawn to watching those last 7 minutes. It's one of the most agonizing sets of offensive basketball. People talk about the 90s. I think they scored like 4 points between them for like
it was a slugfest.
Yep.
Right? Steph is just firing from. Steph looks like John Starks out there. Steph is just firing from wherever, however. It's like, dude, let's take a deep breath here. He
looked like that against Toronto too. When KD left the floor and when Clay left the floor, bro, that was Boogie trying to.
He exercised some demons on the Celtics though.
Yeah.
That game 4.
Yeah. So do you see y'all see the Knicks doing that, bro? Yeah. Is Jalen Brunson our Steph Curry?
Yes.
We want him to be. That was the statement. That was this.
He's getting.
Captainship was that statement, because all last year they've been talking. Oh, he needs to team up with somebody who's better than him. Knicks was like, nah, he's the guy.
Yeah. And then it's almost to the point after 2 years they putting press conferences about being captain.
Yeah.
That man was not even drafted here.
That man has been here 2 seasons.
two years, bro.
Yeah.
They were able to right a wrong.
That's like when the Yankees signed Danny Tartable, bro.
See, this is the thing that people forget about. They could have drafted Jalen Brunson.
Yeah. Well, everybody could have drafted.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that's his godfather.
Well, he wasn't the GM at the time.
No.
Or the president at the time.
He wasn't, but he was looming.
I don't think he came the following year. Remember, he came in mid-season the following year.
Yeah.
You know what, Jay? You're right. My bad. I'm mixing up years.
Yeah. Now, if it was the year before, he would 100% would have been in it. Would have drafted that man in the first round, like off the rip, or probably try to trade back in, or like Freezy. I think
probably trade back in. Probably trade back in.
You seen that clip of Brock Aller? Like, he's the guy that does the phones on the draft first. And now that it makes complete sense that we go back and forth with ebbs and flows with a billion picks, because he's the actual guy that's on the phone talking to other teams' GMs.
Yeah.
That dude, watching that dude is so frustrating, bro.
I would hate to play Monopoly with Brock Aller.
Because you'll be there for 10,000 days straight, back to back, no breaks, bro.
Just to think the amount of he has to have like one of the murder boards in his office because he knows exactly what everybody wants. That's crazy. Yeah, he gotta have a crazy board in his office or something.
He has one of those
string boards,
conspiracy theorist boards with red tape and red lines all over and X's marked on people's names and heads and personality traits written underneath GM's names.
Right.
He's nuts.
So I got a trivia question for y'all. So how many players out of that draft have the Knicks had on the roster?
In the Luka draft.
Knox and Mitch, right? Kevin Knox, Mitchell Robinson.
Knox was the Luka draft?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God, that makes my
yes.
I think they have 6 players from that draft.
They've had a lot of people in that draft.
Yeah, the Knicks have. Remember, Dante is in that draft. Mikal Bridges is in that draft. Mitch is in that draft.
Yes.
Brunson is in that draft.
Yeah. Is Noah Vonleh in that draft?
No,
Hart was before. Hart was drafted before.
Yeah.
Hart was the first of the Villanova kids. He only got 1 ring.
Yeah. Him and Ryan Arcidiacono were together at Nova. Yeah.
I mean, it logically it makes sense that we got all of them at the same time because all these guys are in their prime. So you'd have to target a group of guys out of the same draft to get them all in their prime at the same time.
Yeah, bro, so we have 5 people out of that draft on it. Oh, you know who else? Keita Bates Diop was in that draft.
Oh
wow.
And he was an older rookie. I think he was like 23 or 24 or something like that.
Yeah, man. So,
if only we could get Luka out that draft. Ral, if you listening, sorry,
bro. And the thing is about that. And I told AD this story when we first started doing old school Knicks. Frank Ntilikina walked in the front office and said, "Hey, man, draft Luka." Like legit, Porzingis did it. Porzingis and his brother did it, and people was like, "Yo, they trying to tell the Knicks front office, dude, man, they trying to call the shots." And now Luka's in Dallas, and KP is gone, and his brother is gone, and Kevin Knox is gone, and RJ is gone. So they were like the speculation was take these 2 draft picks this year, next year, trade them to Dallas for that pick, or trade it to Atlanta for that pick. And then that way you could take Luka. Frank was like, "Yo, I'm telling you, he can play. They're like, "Frank, you trash. Get out of here." Frank,
why would we listen to you?
Yeah, why would they, Frank? Go grow some more, Frank. Yo, by the time Frank left, Knicks fans were saying he was 6'11", bro. With an 8-foot wingspan, bro. The height
that summer.
You know what's funny? The NBA released the real heights and they said it was 6'5".
Yeah,
that hurt my soul so bad.
Still holding on to that one Paris International Games. Oh, did you see Frankie stop Kemba? He stopped. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Coach said Steve McCulloch was in that draft out of Michigan. Yeah, that's 7 dudes out of that draft, Coach. That's 7 dudes. Oh, you know what? Fritz Alcinder's favorite, Landry Shamet, it was in that draft. Yo, Shake Milton was in that draft. Dang, how many players did we have out of that draft?
They got a lot of research or something. They got a lot of research in that draft.
They love that draft.
Shake Milton was in that draft? Wow, that's crazy. I can't believe Shake Milton was in that draft. Nah, Shake wasn't in that draft.
And look at that. And look how tough it is. And look how tough it is for those guys to
Jacob Evans was in that draft. I'm sorry, AD. Jacob Evans and Amari Spellman was in that draft.
Oh, shit.
We had both of them too.
Oh, God.
That man was completely out of shape.
Did
Fritz,
he retire?
I think he's overseas.
He overseas balling, bro. He did. So yeah. So Fritz, we had about 13 people out of that draft on this roster.
Hmm.
Not all the ones we want. Like we didn't SGA. We didn't get SGA. Right. We didn't get Luca, Jaren Jackson.
Could be worse. We could have got Marvin Bagley. Could be worse.
It
I
could have
think
been. Yeah.
we've tried. We tried to get all those guys. All of them we tried.
I think I would have rather Marvin Bagley over Knox. I'm sorry.
That's not a high barrier though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember reading the scouting reports about him, and there was this one thing that was glaring was like, yo, he doesn't have a motor.
Which about Kevin Knox, yeah.
About Knox, like he doesn't have his motor. It's on and off, and I remember thinking that just scared the hell out of me. A young guy with his athleticism, Freezy, I'm dunking on anyone in sight.
But AD, he didn't look like that. That must have been a weird thing in workouts, bro. Because when you saw, bro,
We got tricked by his workouts because
I was in the Columbia Center, bro. I saw that man in South Carolina. I saw him carry SGA on his back, bro. I saw it with my own. Yo, cats can't you can't tell me nothing about Knox, SGA, Hamidou Diallo, Jared Vanderbilt, what's the other guy? Nick Richards, and the other guy, the Winion Gabriel. Right, all of them dudes was at Kentucky together, bro. I saw Kevin Knox carry them against the Gamecocks, bro. Like them dudes look like deer in headlights, man. Kevin Knox was. That's why his name shot up draft boards. We knew Kevin Knox should have been a second-round pick. Everybody knew that, right? But the fact that he was carrying Kentucky shot him up draft boards. And then when you saw him in workouts, looked like he was going to be super smooth, athletic shooter.
But you never see. But they didn't see him anyplace else. And see, that's my thing with these guys. It's like, you built like Tarzan, play like Jane.
It happens, bro.
It's too many of these guys that you don't have a history of following them and how did they do against international competition in the off season, and there's too much variables to make up what you think you're gonna get from someone that high.
Granted, and respectfully, I'm just gonna say this because I understand your point. I agree with you, right? In a vacuum, but what I'm saying is you're not gonna hit on every draft pick, bro. You're just not. Right? Nobody.
Far too often, we weren't hitting on anything, Freezy.
Right.
Take KP and then show me your next good draft pick after that.
I mean, what do you consider good? Mitch is a good draft pick.
No. I mean, if we had to do all of the picks, right? All of what they had from KP till last year, it's not a good crop of people. We're talking about KP, Hardaway Jr., and who else?
Oh, you know who was a good draft pick? I think
Mitch.
I'll tell you a good draft pick. I think the Knicks absolutely.
RJ.
No, not him. The point guard we drafted out of Notre Dame. Grant brother.
Jerry Grant.
I felt like I watched him. I'm in ACC country, so I watched Notre Dame play against. Bro, that dude had everything in the book to be the next Michael Ray Richardson, and I think the Knicks dropped the ball on him.
I can't like historically, especially at that point in the league, in terms of in terms of guys that they draft. Like if you're a 4-year player at that point in like the mid 2010s, you weren't really gonna go nowhere as far as development. Nowadays, the older upperclassmen, you can go far with them, like Jaime Jaquez, for example.
Right.
Like they come in with a developed role player skill set, and then they can build off of that. Back then, like the idea of like a developed role player, usually those guys then develop role player skills when they're a 4-year guy. They're usually the ball dominant guy that's the star, but then they realize when they go up to another level of talent, they can't even be the star. Then they can't even function or be an additive player. And that's kind of where like Jerry and Grant struggle, because when he had the ball in his hands, he was really good.
But he couldn't shoot.
Yeah. And when you don't have the ability to shoot, how good
You're
are you?
for Payton. Basically,
Yeah, like
Payton.
how good can you be? Because everything about the game right now in today's NBA is how can you be additive or a positive to your team when you have two guys that are much better than you on your team?
Right. Well, the thing about him though is he was probably a 90th or 95 percentile athlete for one. Off rip.
Yeah,
Off
he was
rip.
really good.
He was going to be. He was an elite athlete at a position that we generally don't have elite athletes at. The Knicks generally don't have an elite athlete at the point guard position, right? Just generally over the years,
The
right?
ones we do get are trash.
Yeah, or they're too old and you don't see it. You don't see it no more. They were probably once an elite athlete.
Like we had Baron Davis and Steve Francis.
Yeah,
And Penny Hardaway.
yeah. And so one of the other things too about Jerry and Grant is the mix of players was so off that they ruined that kid before he could even. That Knicks team was a playoff team that didn't have playoff talent, that wanted to be a playoff team, and the very next year they tripled down on trying to be a playoff team with a bad roster. Remember, they traded Jerry and Grant to Chicago for Derrick Rose.
Oh my God.
He was the young prospect in that Derrick Rose deal.
Oh my God. I remember Jerry Grant was given like the Celtics fits one night in the car. Like they couldn't guard him.
Just off athleticism, bro.
Yeah.
Just I mean, it's not like he was Torrey Murray or Tony Douglas or any of them dudes. This dude actually had NBA talent. His father, Harvey, was legit an NBA player.
Yes.
Right? He was an NBA, so he had all the makings of an NBA player. The Knicks got him and just ruined him. He was the one that I felt like him. I felt like if we could have had him and Amon Shumpert together and developed those two together, I think we still might be talking about Jerry and Grant and Amon Shumpert, bro.
I think we tried. I think we tried with Amon.
Woody ruined Shumpert, bro.
I think we tried with Amon.
That ACL. Well, number one, when he came in, he had D'Antoni, and D'Antoni tried to make him a point guard.
Yeah,
and if he was an actual point guard, he would have reached the ceiling a lot quicker, because you know what D'Antoni does with anybody that has some level of playmaking skills.
Right.
He makes it look real good. Right. But he just didn't have it. I remember in preseason and early in the season, D'Antoni tried to trust him with like lead guard duties, and he just couldn't do it.
Remember Georgia?
He did it at Georgia Tech. Yeah,
the coach at Georgia Tech, the year after Jarrett Jack left, they moved him to point guard. He was there. He was there with the guy that he was there with Derek Favors. Y'all remember Derek Favors?
Yeah, he was the point.
Yeah, he was there with Derek Favors because Georgia Tech didn't have another guy, and Amon Shumpert was never meant to be that. He was one of those dudes where if he was 6'7", he would have been perfect in the NBA. But he was a shooting guard that was an inconsistent shooter. He was a guard that couldn't play make. He was just a guard that was super athletic. You remember? Hey, you know what? You know who he reminds me of? AD. You remember Fred Jones?
Yeah.
The 2 dunk contests.
Yeah, remember we had Fred. Did we have Fred Jones?
Or
was he all Indiana? Did we have Fred Jones?
I think he was Indiana, but I think he was a little bit more talented than Jones.
No, I'm talking about the archetype of player.
Oh, okay.
A bundle of energy athlete.
Yeah. Because Fred Jones was what, 6'3", 6'4"?
Yeah.
And Shumpert was like 6'5",
6'5", 6'6".
Yeah.
They just didn't know what to do with him. And to his discredit, right? The game at that time, the 15-footer was still a part of the game.
Yeah.
Consistent. And he had no in-between game. And
Oh, he barely had the 3-point game.
but Woody adopted the D'Antoni style
Yeah, with threes.
doubled down on it.
Yeah.
Because remember, the Knicks led the league. I think the year after D'Antoni, when they fired D'Antoni, from the moment they fired D'Antoni into the next year, whatever, Woody had doubled down on it.
It was like the first team in NBA history to make more threes than turnovers.
Yeah, they were shooting threes, and no one talked about. That's the Knicks tape. They were shooting threes out the wazoo. Even Melo started shooting threes.
Yep.
Right?
You remember, but that's the team that had Sean Williams on it. Remember Sean Williams, the 6'9" forward that we would put on LeBron James?
Oh, Jesus. Oh,
we would put him on bigs, too.
Yeah.
And he just kept getting, and with Sean,
we would tell that man to guard Dwight Howard, Freezy.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Hey, pound the soul out there. Go guard him, Sean.
Go guard. And him and a dude, I don't know if y'all remember this guy, right? But a dude named Isaiah Hicks. We used to call him in the G League.
Oh, my God.
And we used to put that man on, go out there and guard Shaq. Y'all remember Josh Harrelson?
Oh, God.
George.
Yeah, bro. That
he went to Kentucky, didn't he?
Yep.
He went to Florida. He was at Florida with Bradley Beal. He was at Florida with Bradley Beal. Yeah.
George.
George was
Kentucky. Florida.
He was Kentucky.
Josh Harrelson?
Yeah, it gotta be.
Yeah. I thought he went to Kentucky.
Did he go to Kentucky? Okay, I might be wrong.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah,
okay.
He did. Kentucky,
okay.
Yeah. He got the nickname at Kentucky, wearing them tacky ass jean shorts.
Bro. They need a list of just a lot of bad. You have to kind of like look at this Knicks management, and I give them a lot of flack over these last couple of years and not really drafting anybody. But they were like, you know what? There's no one here to draft that we think that's a part of this situation right here. Now we can punt on it, and they punted on 2 in a row.
Right.
We moved up and down and acquired role players, basically, and then got some assets out of it in the process.
2nd round picks, up and down.
Up and yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's like we kind of just like, to hell with trying to draft a elite player or a high ceiling guy. We're gonna get you a guy that's gonna fit in the role and do what we need him to do immediately. I think like Pacome Dadier is like the last draft pick that we drafted on potential, and like 10 guys.
Yeah.
Well, there was. What's the kid that's never going to come over? What's
you talking about in the first round, right? Because I think we drafted Mitch on potential.
No, I'm talking about the cat. What's his name? Baragaitis. What the hell is it?
Jokovitis. Yeah.
Yeah, Jokovitis.
You talking about Rokas Jokovitis.
But even then, like Rokas was his skill set. He was never viewed as ever being a superstar or like a high. Yeah, nah.
I'll tell you who we did have high hopes for. The dude from France we drafted, and he stayed in France for like 12 seasons. Labari, the dude that used to come to training camp every year.
Labore,
yeah. What's something like that? The black dude with the afro, the black dude with the curly
Oh,
afro.
Jesus. Oh, my God.
The 6'8" dude, silky smooth until somebody contested shit. He was silky smooth until the defense got on him, bro. That dude had panic attacks, bro.
Everybody looked good in an open gym.
That dude uniform used to look extra starch on the uniform, bro. That man's shoelaces never came untied, bro. That man looked good out there, bro.
Makes you think they should have had an open gym, like open practices, like open, recruitment. Because with a lot of these cats they drafted, I'm like, you could have went up to the Rucker. You could have went up to any one of these around the league and grabbed you somebody that could really play.
That's what I thought, bro. When you first saw Sean Williams, what did you think? When you saw him, Bill Walker, and Flight White on the floor at the same time, bro.
They're just athletic.
Yeah, you crash dummy basketball.
Yeah, it's crash dummy basketball. When I saw Sean Williams, I'm like, okay.
6'9", every bit of 6'9", bro. When I saw him, Bro, when you're over 6 foot and you have to crane your neck to look at another man, yeah, that man is like
That man
every bit of
Sean Williams
6'9".
was in the wrong sport. He should have been a left tackle somewhere.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. What's the one that we picked up from Minnesota when they drafted him like number 2 overall?
Derek Williams.
Derek went. Oh my God! I'm like, what did you see in this guy?
He jumped real high, man.
Bro, the Knicks love left-handed power forwards, bro.
Yo, literally the moment he got off the plane in Minnesota, Minnesota was like, we made a mistake. Beasley, another one. Like,
but with Beasley, you could see it, but he was just not right upstairs. The talent was.
This is my thing. I think he had like 2 stints on the Knicks, right? You had him in your building.
Come on, Williams or Beasley?
No, Beasley. You had him in your building like 2 stints. You know what his temperament and stuff was like after the first stint. Why would you bring him back?
I mean, the alternative is what? Quincy AC and Kevin Seraphin?
No, but how are you winning with these guys?
AD, we was out here with centers with no teeth, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you talking about Cole Aldridge. Cole Aldridge legit was going to score 8 points a game, bro. 4 for us and 4 for them.
We gave Ron Baker a no trade clause. That's what we talking about.
Had a press conference. No, just so we had a press conference.
But you just see the thing is, you just didn't have to go that way because at that time you still have a very good Melo. You had a team that was fighting for the last place in the playoff.
They did Melo so dirty,
and then you just rip it all the way down, and you oh my God.
You know Phil Jackson had a personal vendetta against Melo.
Yes,
but so I point to, I think the circumstance dictated. For instance, Melo gets hurt in January, right? Remember, Melo gets the knee injury in January. He can barely walk. He hop off the floor, right? But it's like 2 weeks before the Knicks and the Nets share an All-Star game in New York, right? And so you can't have the All-Star game in New York without the Knicks' best star. If I can remember, I think it was in.
Yes.
I think the dunk contest was in the Garden, and then the All-Star game was in Brooklyn, right? But however it go,
right?
What Melo should have done, bro, get the surgery right then, rehab, and then come back for the start of the next season. But what he did is he played through it, and I always felt like when Melo played through that injury, it was over for him. Right, because Melo was already losing athleticism. Melo was already not Denver Melo at that point. But now that you have an injured Will, regardless how much skill you have, bro, I felt like
he did the same thing with a shoulder injury.
Yep.
He didn't get surgery on it when he should have.
Yep, and he should have got the surgery on it instead of playing through it. And we got diminished returns. And
but Freezy, but here's the part that we're missing here. The team still had a lot of salary cap flexibility. They just drafted KP. It wasn't a dire situation. You see what I'm saying? You could have let Melo walk, which Dolan wasn't going to let you do. Okay? Right. Or take your time and be prudent. Why are you giving Noah a 4-5 year deal?
Oh my God.
Why are you signing? If you were going to go, if you want to go into like relationships or whatever, I would have taken a broken down D Wade over a broken down D Rose at that point.
But even then, the signs were there. Remember, Derrick Rose didn't show up for a game, didn't tell nobody. Remember that? in the first
game, A-wire. The man went AWOL.
Yeah, the Knicks ain't seen them all. How are you gonna go missing in New York, bro? Do you know how many people gonna panic?
No,
right? You know how many?
I don't think any team has hired 3 worse coaches at the same time. Like, we went Fisher, Rambis, and Hornacek, or Hornacek, Rambis, and Fisher back to back.
And we retained Rambis even though we removed him from the bench.
Oh my God!
You remember that? Yeah.
And the game done passed by Phil Jackson, but he out there talking about triangle offense. Like you ain't have 3 you ain't have Hall of Famers running that triangle.
Bro, you got to have 2 pillars. You got to have legit. You got to have, and I know it's going to sound crazy when I say it, but just for context, you got to have two guys in the triangle. You gotta have two guys on the floor that can get you 40 points a game, right? Because nobody is gonna respect three guys in a triangle that's gonna get you 14 apiece. Right? You ain't even gotta respect it. You ain't even gotta follow dudes around the floor. This dude right here only gonna get you 14 if you leave him open.
Yeah.
Right? You got to have a Mike and a Scotty. You got to have a Shaq and Kobe. You have to have that type of thing to respect. Like when we talk about offense, the reason why I think the Knicks offense is going to put up a lot of points, be efficient this year, the reason why I think the Knicks are going to shoot about 48.5, 49% from the floor is not because of, what's the name? Mikal Bridges handles is elite, because they're not. And it's not because OG Anunoby is going to turn into a triple-double threat with elite handles and elite three-point shooting, because he's not. But what's going to happen is the mere fact that you have four guys on the floor that's gonna attract the eyeballs of five dudes. Five dudes can't guard four good offensive players. It just never can happen, right? In theory, you're like, well, you just put five dudes out there, they can guard four dudes, right? Nah, no, that's not how physics work, bro. You can put two dudes on Michael Jordan, he can still score 55. I saw it in the Garden. Right? You know what I'm saying? You can legit put that same game. The Chicago Bulls were double teaming Patrick Ewing, and Patrick Ewing still got you 38. Right? In that same game, Pat Ewing scored 38 points. Right? Double teamed all night, fouled all night. Right? With the Knicks, how I think Jalen Brunson is gonna be in that league MVP conversation. I'm not saying he's the league MVP. I'm not even saying he's finishing top 5, but I'm saying when the list comes out, I think Brunson's name will be on it somewhere between maybe 6 and 8, somewhere 5 and 8, somewhere like that. Is the fact on most nights, NBA teams are not going to have enough defensive weaponry to guard Randall and Brunson, and then be able to guard the side door and the back porch with OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. You're just not going to have. It's just like when I'm not going to say we're going to have Golden State's offense. What I'm saying though is, if you remember the Jeopardy teams were in when Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and they had another score. What's the tall point guard out of Duke? Oh, never went to Duke. You know what I'm talking. The dude with the braids.
Sean Livingston.
Sure, bro.
Yes.
When you put all when all of them
They
together,
had JaVale McGee non-offensive playing and they were still elite.
bro, and he would get
In those
like 2
minutes.
dunks a game
Yeah, just easy lobs from Iguodala or somebody
by himself.
just throwing them up.
Bro, y'all remember Festus Ezeli? Festus Ezeli would get 3 dunks a game, and he would be in the paint by himself, smoking a cigarette. Right? He'd be just hanging out because nobody was going to guard him, because you had to guard the other 4 dudes. And Festus Ezeli would get about 3 dunks a game.
They actually made what's the name look serviceable. They made McGee look serviceable.
Yeah, bro.
Because they bring him in like 8-10 minutes. You don't really, they're not asking him to be JaVale McGee. And they're not asking him to be that guy.
Yeah, bro.
I used to be like, JaVale, why you mad, fam? Are you looking at this footage that you're doing out here, my guy?
Bro, do you see how crazy you look?
Do you see how crazy you look, my guy? Like, your mom is still a better basketball player than you at that point in time, as far as fundamentally.
Maybe right now. Who knows? I don't know. No disrespect.
No disrespect, but I saw that man do like a pirouette from the 3-point, from the midcourt, and it looked good because he pirouetted, went around his back, evaded one defender. By the time he got to the key, it just went.
You talking about when he missed the dunk against the Nuggets? You talking about
he did like a bunch of them. Like,
he tried to dunk from the free throw line.
Oh my God, bro. Oh.
Like, JaVale, what are you doing? What? And he would do this on a nightly till finally somebody was like, yo, this is some fun stuff.
They had him and Andre Blatch on the court at the same time.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. And we're talking about old Washington Wizards on Blatch. Did they have the guy from? They had the guy from Sacramento too, right? The Thompson guy. Remember the Thompson guy? Jason Thompson.
Oh
Is that
yeah,
his
Jason
name?
Thompson. They had Kevin Surfing too.
Oh, every time I hear that name, I'll be wanting to vomit, bro. He was the original Frank Ntilikina, bro.
I'm like, bro, you a big man wearing the number 1.
You
What's
the
wrong
big
with you?
man number 1, and you a finesse player, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my. He was the dude talking about the Knicks should feature him.
Oh.
Remember, he wanted to start over Nazi Muhammad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And no lie, bro. Nazi Muhammad was what, 39? 38?
That man was an elder statesman.
And we like, and
No.
Kevin Sarah. Oh my god, bro. The Knicks were a mess, bro.
They were. They just kept doubling that. It just made some of these things just like, why?
Why did we hire Derek Fisher?
Why? Like, you hired him just because you thought that you were going to be able to funnel what you wanted through him. And the times when he was, and I'm gonna give him a little bit of leeway here. At one point in time, the team was actually winning some games with Derek a little bit.
Yep.
It was
Just
early in the
bit.
season, I
It was
believe.
early, right? And he went away from the triangle.
Yep.
And Phil came down, and Phil was like, nah, from now on, I'm gonna be down here every day.
Yep.
We running this triangle shit.
Yep.
And the team just went from there.
And
the
the-
team
and the
just went.
solid. You remember,
just
and
went.
the injury set in. You remember, dudes would leave the game with a sprained wrist, and they be gone like 5 weeks. You remember that? What's not Tony Douglas? What's the other guy? It was Tony Douglas and another guy. I cannot remember.
Was it a guard? Another guard?
Yeah, another guard. Not Tony Douglas. It was a guy that was there with him.
He was just so frustrated. I'm like,
Langston Galloway.
Oh God, yeah.
That's who I keep forgetting.
Galloway was the one that cost them that in hindsight, because he kept winning games.
Langston got a couple gold medals, actually.
Yeah.
I think Langston won like 5 games down the stretch by himself.
You talking about the year we should have been tanking for Cat?
No, yes, and we ended up getting KP,
and we wanted
because of him.
But we had the worst record in the league for like a month.
No, it was because of him and Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah, no,
yes.
I remember that. I remember.
And Maurice Endower.
Oh God! Oh,
that man name, bro. You know you can't say that man name 3 times, bro. You can't say that.
Woo.
Yo, he had to put back against Detroit, bro, and all of our Cat hopes and dreams just went down the toilet.
Just killed our draft stock.
And Galloway was smart because he got a nice little check and he bounced. He got a nice little bag from that.
He signed with Detroit, right?
Was it Detroit? I think so.
I think it was Detroit.
So.
Yeah, him and Reggie Jackson.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was just some sad times, man. Oh,
Reggie Jackson got a bag, and John Wall was over there like, "This guy getting money? Like
he getting money?" And you know, when I saw Reggie Jackson get the bag, you know what I was thinking? Damn, OKC might be okay. As soon as I saw Reggie Jackson get the bag, I was like, OKC might have a good front office. No, like, bro, because they drafted the guard that I like. Now I ain't gonna lie. Now I'm wrong, right? Hindsight is 2020, and so I know I'm wrong.
Are you gonna say Eric Maynard?
But they drafted Eric Maynard, Reggie Jackson, Cameron Payne, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and they had a whole unit of guards together. And I was like, man, I like this kid, Eric Maynard. He's tough, bro. But the rumor was, man,
he ripped his knee up and it was over after that.
Yep, him and what's the other guy that got hurt in OKC? It was him. And,
Perry Jones. That's the name, though.
Yeah, Perry Jones III. I used to love playing with him on.
Perry Jones was gonna be nice. I thought he was gonna be nice.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna be discount KD.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna be discount KD. And there was a big in the draft. I thought they should have took a dude named Fab Melo. If they would have took Fab Melo, bro.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh my God, bro.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it real with you. They still drafted good bigs anyway.
Yeah, they drafted like
Steven Adams just turned 30, and I feel like he's been around the league for like 25 years.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And and I saw a thing on YouTube the other day, and what started the whole pendulum in their favor was a young front office guy. I forget what's their front office guy name now to do with the glasses?
Sam Presti?
Yeah, when he first took over the Seattle job. Right.
Yeah.
Remember that when Seattle had the mass exodus where dudes were like, I ain't want to play here. Y'all arena stuff. Blah, blah. And he convinced Rashard Lewis to do this thing that teams rarely did. He was like, yo, you know what? I know you going. You know you going. They know you coming. So why not let me trade you there so you can get more money?
And get something back real quick.
Yeah. And so what happened is the official sign and trade thing was always around, like the pick and roll offense was always around, but nobody used it. Like the sign and trade thing was always there, and nobody used it because it was complicated. Like I ain't feel like doing all that paperwork. Sam Presti was like, I'll do all that paperwork, and I think they wind up getting the draft picks that. What did they wind up getting the draft picks that led to Russell Westbrook and not Harden? It was like Russell Westbrook and another. It might have been the draft picks that led to the draft picks that led to Serge Ibaka and another player. I think Jeff Green, maybe. Did they draft Jeff Green?
Yeah, they drafted Jeff Green.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I may have the. I'm sorry.
No, yes, they did.
And I may have the particulars wrong on exactly how it happened, but basically the moral of the story is smart people did smart things because they were desperate. You know what I'm saying? To kind of keep it, hold it in the road. So they drafted Jeff Green, right? And then they drafted Serge Ibaka with the other pick or something like that. Orlando was like, we don't care nothing about them picks. They're gonna be in the 20s anyway. It wound up being Serge Ibaka.
Sam Presti did everything right. He just had one fatal flaw, which kind of ruined his whole thing, they could have just amnesty Perkins and just brought back what's his name, Harden, but they just didn't want to do it.
No, they didn't want. Nah, because
they're like, why would we give $80 million to a six man?
I always had a theory about that. That has nothing to do with the basketball stuff. I always felt like James Harden's lifestyle was just not a fit for Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
I think James Harden's lifestyle was just too wild. Bro, OKC, they get everybody to bow their head and they pray before the game, bro, in OKC.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think James Harden just fit that. I think they were like, yo.
They were a small pond for a big fish.
Yeah. That's.
They really was. And they kept the coach too long.
Scott Brooks?
Yeah, I would have fired him after he lost the finals. And I know that sounds ungrateful and all of that, whatever, but I would have fired him after the finals.
But who do you hire? But who do you replace him with?
I think he's
at that time.
Oh God, I'd have to jog my memory and so forth. But my reason for firing him is that you have such a rare in basketball annals. You see an organization draft consecutive hit, and two of them on the top 75.
Yeah,
two of the all-time greats, and you have nothing to show for it.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
No, I thought it was Harden didn't make it. Oh well, Westbrook.
I'm sorry, three of them.
Yeah, three. Yeah,
Westbrook should have made it.
Westbrook did make it. Westbrook, Harden, KD.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They drafted three of the top, what the NBA considers the top 75 players, right? And God knows how many other very good role surrounding players, and they had nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
I think
if this was New York, that would have never flown.
No, because we wouldn't have been patient enough. with it. Back then, we would not have been patient enough. But recently, we've gotten in the mode where we can kind of hold our water a little bit and be patient and let the championship building process play itself out. Because we've been in a championship process right now for going into 6 seasons. It doesn't seem like it, but the day Randall showed up, things changed, right? And I know it don't seem like that, but when we reflect back on it, we have to look at a pivot point. Like, when did things start getting better? And it's the day Randall showed. But I don't want to talk about the Randall thing. What I was going to say though is AD the only franchise that I think may beat OKC is what we talked about the other day. The Dallas Mavericks, when they first came into the league, and every name they call, bro, is like an all-time great, bro. Right? You talking about Rolando Blackman, Mark Aguirre, Derek Harper, Detlef Schrempf, Roy Topley, Dale Ellis. It seemed like every name they call, bro, every time they call somebody's name, bro, yeah, he all-star. He all-star. It was to a point, where we were like, it don't matter what name they call, he gonna be an impact player regardless.
Yeah, but here's the difference. When OKC is on the rise, there really isn't another young team that's in front of them. Yeah, the Lakers are still there. You know, they're still the Lakers were at the end of, you know, Kobe's, you know, the 2 appearances or whatever. But after that moment, the Clippers are beginning to rise. Golden State is kind of like right there.
Right.
There was really a clear pathway for them to take off and stay in the air.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dallas ain't have that. You know, LA was always going to be there.
Right.
Houston was always going to be there.
Yeah.
That's the difference. See what I'm saying? And he gets a lot of credit, and I'm talking about Presti, and well deserved, because whoever he has in his scouting departments and how they see things and how they draft players, whatever, that's fine.
Analytics, bro.
Yeah, but it's fine for out there for that part of the country where they're just happy to go to the games, and everyone is kind of there. As you said, they're praying before the game and they're praying after the game, and everyone goes home and you can hitchhike and the neighbor's gonna drop you off and da da da. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple of news. You know, it's not. You know what I mean? It's not groundbreaking every day. 2:00 in the morning, up talking about. It's a whole different. Different.
Right.
And when you waste, and that's the only way I can put it. When you waste that kind of draft capital and you don't do something with it, that's a monumental failure. It should be remembered as a monumental failure.
Right.
You up 3-1 against Golden State. Crazy.
Oh my God. And then them games after, KD putting up tour dates.
Yeah.
Shooting 10 for 31, 8 for 31.
Yeah.
And Westbrook just going head like going to the rim with no spacing, just throwing up whatever, because Andre Roberson is on the court.
And they seemed to be okay with him leaving at the time. It was like there was really no fight. I'm not gonna play that.
I mean, what could they do? What could they have done?
I'm not gonna play that Knicks and Brunson crap where you're hiding my superstar player away from me and I can't find him. I'm going to scorch the earth for KD at that time. You hear me?
Right.
This is the tampering, whatever charges that I have to throw up to try and stop this nonsense. I am going to do it. You don't lose guys like that, just like that, because he unhappy.
Right. No, I get that part. Right. What I was referencing is the draft part, not the other stuff that front offices do. Just that one. Bro, you remember how well the Lakers drafted in the late 80s and early 90s? Yeah, I got it. I have a thing pulled up here. My homeboy, one of my real good friends in life, man. I ain't talked to him in a while. David Rivers was drafted by the Lakers in '88. Right. The next year they drafted Vlade. The next year they drafted Eldon Campbell. Right. '92 they drafted Anthony Peeler. 93, they drafted George Lynch and Nick Van Exel. 94, they drafted Eddie Jones. 95, they swung and missed because they only had a second-round pick. But then in 96, they drafted Kobe Bryant and Derek Fisher. Right? So for like a 8-year window, just about every name they called, bro, was a hit. Right? Some teams get in a bag with drafting. They get in that pocket.
Doug Christie too?
Some teams can never.
The Knicks drafted Doug Christie.
I was gonna say some
No, the
teams.
Knicks got him. No, I think he's from. I think the Lakers drafted him out of Pepperdine.
You sure?
Yeah, the Knicks got him when they had Don Nelson, and Nelson was beating the crap out of him in practice and in games and all of that. Right? I think the Lakers had drafted him out of Pepperdine. If memory serves.
I don't see in that 94 draft where he was drafted, all they showing is Eddie Jones. They drafted George Lynch out of North Carolina and Nick Van Exel. And you remember George Lynch used to play for the Sixers?
Yeah, he was
that AI team that they have though. Yeah, role player.
Yeah, he was a good role player. They had a lot of, but remember, they had a lot of after the championship runs. You know, they had a lot of bad times.
Yeah.
Even with the young talent they had.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but they still had great young talent.
Okay.
And then you flip it, you add Shaq to the mix.
Yeah.
Foresight. Who does that? Who gets Shaq and Kobe in the same week?
Bro, you gotta have some foresight, man, with that.
Jerry West. I mean, if you like Jerry West saw what was gonna be where the league was headed multiple times.
Right.
I would have moved heaven and earth to get that man. I told him, you don't have to leave the coast. We can do this virtually.
Right.
You can send a fax, man. Just send them faxes.
Whatever you want. You can run it from out there. We got ties out there. We own the forum as it is. We got ties out there.
AD, they had two great stretches of drafting because they had in 2014, they drafted Randall. Then they drafted Larry Nance and D'Angelo Russell the next year. Then they drafted Zubats and Brandon Ingram in the same draft. Then they drafted Lonzo Ball and Tony Bradley in the same draft. They drafted Mo Wagner and Svi Mykhailiuk in the same draft.
They drafted like a bunch of good players, but with the Lakers, they're always star chasing.
Yeah,
Granted, there's a couple all-stars in that process that got drafted, right? But they were looking for the bona fide top 5 guy.
Yeah, I don't
as always because they always get that guy.
Yeah, that's who they are as a franchise, bro. They don't care nothing about developing. Them and the Celtics have one thing in mind every year, and that's winning championships. And that's one of the things that I want to convey to Knicks fans. That until Knicks fans, Dre, this is what we talked about when I first met you, right? One of the first things I talked to you about, the thing that separates the Knicks from the Celtics is not salary cap management, right? It's not about who's on the roster. It's not about how many alternate uniforms they wear. Is when the Celtics wake up in the morning, all they think about is winning the championship. And at the time that I met you, the only thing the Knicks thought about when they woke up in the morning was being relevant. They felt like people were disrespecting them. And I felt even to this day, I feel like until that absolutely changes, because I think we have 1 foot on that road and then 1 foot not. But until we get both feet on that road where all we think about is championships, we're not going to catch the Celtics, bro. The Celtics, the likelihood of the Knicks catching the Celtics with championships in any of our lifetime is minimal.
To be absolutely honest, the overwhelming majority of championships came when there was not that many teams in the league. So,
but they have them, though.
Of course, they have them. The Knicks could have had them. They're in the league at the same time, but
it's the narrative, Freezy. It's how you roll out the narrative. Dallas,
but I'll put it this way: before they won last year, they had 1 championship in 37 years.
Yeah,
but there's still
Corey Lee in the building. Yeah, bro.
And it's the narrative. It's how you roll out the narrative. Like, look at Dallas in football. Dallas hasn't won a championship in 30 years? They're
The Jets have
forever.
more playoff wins than them.
Yeah, but the Jets will never be America's team.
Absolutely not. Well, I'll put it this way. I don't think a New York team can be America's team. Even the Yankees. There's just a level of people who despise them, even how great they are. Like, would you consider the Yankees America's baseball team?
No.
At one point,
At one point, but not.
yeah.
No.
At one point, because the Yankees are the standard.
No, they might be but that don't mean America like you, bro.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If you're going to use the Boston analogy, I can go all the way back to Ruth. Conversation over.
But I never said the Celtics were America's team, bro.
Yeah, but for a long period, even in those short periods when it was just, Wilt and Russell, the analogy around that was the Celtics.
Right now, the Kansas City Chiefs are America's team, bro, in football.
That's today. Will they be that 10 years from now? Who's going to remember 15 years from now?
No, and 15 years from now, it'll still be the Bears. What are we talking about? Okay, y'all keep sleep. Okay.
Bears.
Bear Force One, baby.
Keep on sleeping, bro. AD, don't hit me up later like, hey, man, you was probably right about that them Bears, bro.
I'm going to tell you, go turn on the tape on the Super Bowl shuffle.
All right. But hey, but to your Yankees point, I understand greatness. Like your franchise can be great, but still not be the most liked, right? Because think about this. There was a time where people were saying, "How could you not be America's team and your nickname is the Patriots?" Y'all remember that? People was like, "We're America's team, man. We're Patriots." Nobody remember that? The 2000s. The 2000 when the Patriots was winning Super Bowls and stuff, man. How can we not be America's team? We wear red, white, and blue. Our nickname is Patriot.
It's like even besides that Randy Moss era, they didn't embody like the whole America, because like the whole thing with being like America, the things that Americans love is grandiose, it's huge, it's spectacular, it's something that you don't really see often.
Yeah.
Whereas like the Cowboys were a constant spectacle.
Yeah.
In the 90s, whether off the field or on the field. Whereas the Patriots, you don't hear nothing about them. Nothing.
Yeah.
Besides on the field, and then on the field it's just business as usual.
It's business, yeah.
And it's boring. It's not winning is boring. To be absolutely honest.
Yeah, winning is boring, but it's how it's marketed.
Yeah.
Like, if you know what you're doing.
And then Bill Belichick didn't play into it.
No, because that's not his style, right? But even that being said, he has a super all-time quarterback who has a supermodel wife. You don't think the Patriots attached themselves to that? Of course they did. Look at how Kansas City in the league attached themselves to Kelsey and what's the name this past year?
Taylor Swift.
Every time that woman even blinked, the camera was on her. Every movement, every motion, everything. Right?
That's the Bears this year, bro. Yeah, keep laughing, bro. Okay.
Think about it again. Who's gonna be Caleb's girl? Sexy Red? I don't think the league will be running for that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, look, she more masculine than he is. That shit not gonna work.
Damn.
Okay. All right.
Damn shame.
Well,
his fingernails are more freshly painted than hers.
Oh God.
Yeah. Well,
y'all got some pieces over there.
Hey, there's something you can't account for, and that's talent.
They ain't doing a damn thing this year.
Court wants the link, Freezy.
Yeah, I got it. But I was about to get out of here too, man. I got to be at the desk.
Definitely about to get out of here. I got to get for real. Go outside. I got to bounce.
Hey, shout out to Corey Lee. Y'all, I'm gonna get out of here, man, because the alarm clock will be going off before you know it. Thank you, everybody, for rocking with us, man. I'm gonna get out of here though. Peace, y'all.
Peace.